Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting, amazing, rambunctious, righteous episode of Hollywood After Dark. It is November 23rd, 2022. It's Thanksgiving Eve, and we're going to be talking about a potential DC Civil War incoming. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, the People's Champ, the Man in Black versus James Gunn. And I'll tell you guys, something's a brewing out there. I can see it. And we're going to be talking about that tonight. Let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Of course, like I said, it is the eve of Thanksgiving, at least here in America. You might not be in America, and I don't know what the fuck is happening in your country, but quite frankly, tonight, in the fandom of the DC, of Detective Comics, shit be going down, shit be going a little bit crazy. There's a lot happening that we got to read between the lines on, folks. We got to read between the lines, and so tonight, that will be happening. I'm a little bit late tonight because my children are still awake and having trouble going to sleep, so I think that might be a thing. But that being said, we will be joined by some guests here in a little bit. Right off the bat, though, I want to get to a fantastic $10 super chat from Reed. Thank you so much, buddy. You are a great supporter of the channel. I really appreciate you, man. Asking, do you guys think I should tell Ryan Reynolds and the Spirited cast why the movie means a lot to me right now with my anxiety story? I don't know if something cool would happen, but it's worth a shot. Well, okay. So if you were going to do that, you could do it through Twitter or other forms of social media like Instagram or something. But there is a likelihood that it probably wouldn't get to them. All right. I'm just letting you know right off the bat. It's good that the movie has inspired you. It's good that the movie has helped calm your anxiety or help you manage and deal with your anxiety, because anxiety is something that doesn't just go away. And sometimes it's very difficult to find things that allow you to calm down. I understand that entirely. There are other ways you could contact them. And I know we talk on Discord, so hit me up and I'll tell you a way you can reach out to Ryan Reynolds or Will Ferrell or whomever in order to potentially get them to see that. I can't guarantee anything, but I do know a way. It's a very odd, old, outdated way, but it still works. And no one really knows about it. And so I can tell you that one. We'll talk about that off air. If that's the route you want to go. And I get it, man. I'm glad you found solace in the movie, something that allowed you to manage your anxiety, because that's something very difficult. I'm on anti-anxiety medication. I'm on antidepressants, but it does help with my anxiety, which sometimes is just completely unmanageable. So yeah, I get imposter syndrome all the time. I think it happens to the best of us, bro. But yeah, thank you very much for that. And let me know and I'll talk to you about that. But all right, here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing in, we got Jimbo here. What up, Jimbo?
What up?
Not too much, man. Have yourself a good night.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's been a wild night for sure. And it just really showed me like the importance of getting an education. And when teachers tell you in school all the time, when you read a book, you actually have to work for the answers. Like they give you a worksheet, like you have to do some reading comprehension. I never realized that was so important, and using critical thinking, it just really blew my mind. Like, wow, all these years, these teachers telling me to use these skills and hone them. And now I see prime examples of what happens when you don't have those things. And it just makes me so thankful that I have developed and obtained these skills through hard work and, brain cells. So that is what I want to say I'm very thankful for on this Thanksgiving Eve. And, wow, just, I'm sorry, my brain cells have been absolutely
That's
butchered.
okay. Today's been an interesting little day for that. There's been, I'll start off talking about this because as I get into the whole like Rock versus James Gunn situation. There are more people. I know Max wants to come on. RJ probably will. Chris Bipolar Jedi. So we'll give people a couple minutes to get on in here because I know Max is wrapping up his stream. I see a command unit. We'll get to that at the end. More 40K mistranslated. Obviously, it's going to have that there. But one of the things that I saw tonight, and this is one of the things that I can't help but necessarily laugh at, is that, you know, we've openly made fun of people like Sil Abdul and Mikey Sutton and that entire group of guys. But I want to show you how far the cope is going, because when I talk about the upcoming potential DC Civil War, this is where it's starting. It's not just between two executives or what may or may not be happening. Okay. It is very much happening on the front lines of the fandom, especially with sycophantic, complete ideological morons. I don't want to say idealistic, just morons. So over on a live stream, this happened literally about 30 minutes ago. Skywalker the Jedi, a smaller channel, doing a live stream. This guy is absolutely, he's like a warrior for Sil. You know, if there was anyone to ever, throw hands, if you will, over this shit, it would absolutely be him. And this guy at the bottom there, Mr. West Ashley, is a dude they bring on pretty frequently. In fact, this is a guy who claimed that the nerd queens were all Satanists and things like that. He's very crazy. But these guys almost worship the ground he walks on just as much as they do Sil. And he says, all we got to do is make a campaign of James Gunn being a pedo, and he'll lose his job in the era of wokeness. Now, what you're reading there is an actual person on an actual live stream tonight being actually featured by saying, like, hey, let's run a smear campaign, a fake smear campaign against the new head of DC Studios to get him to fall in line with what they want, to get fired from his newly formed position that's literally 3 weeks old.
Dude.
I mean,
but hey,
all
3 weeks old, he's already sloppy. That's what I'm even more shocked about is, like, you know, I just don't care, because it's obviously just a lot of dumb shit that comes out of their mouth, and that stream just blatantly showed it, because like you said, after 3 weeks of getting into the position, they already are saying, oh, James Gunn is a sloppy leader. Like, bro, how about you come out with the whole fucking structure of DC in 3 weeks? Come back to me. Oh, but Zach has a whole thing. Like, bro, did it take Zach fucking 3 weeks to come up with all that shit? I bet you fucking not, dude. That's my thing, dude. It's like, I get it. You want Zach back. But literally calling James Gunn, who's the head of fucking DC Studios, a pedo, calling him sloppy and, like, generally insulting him and having a smear campaign, how the fuck is that going to get you what you want? Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's so annoying to be a DC fan with people that are just so fucking ignorant and stuck in their own ways. It's like, bro, do you not see what you're doing is literally not going to get you what you want? It hasn't done it in the past couple of years. I know we're coming up on the turkey thing, and I fucking bet there's going to be something that you guys are gonna do.
Yeah.
So it's just like I get heated. It's like I would love for Justice League 2. I love Zack Snyder's DC movies. I feel like they're badass and more brutal and, like, a little more mature in a lot of aspects and have a lot of, like, symbolism with them. But, like, it's like, damn, dude, you can't be assholes to people that give you the content that you want.
Well, no, it's true. And Kavari here is right. The Snyder versus fandoms, it will reach a new low. The problem with it is, though, I mean, to be fair, that's not everyone in the Snyder fandom. There are a lot of good people in the Snyder fandom, but I do agree that a lot of them aren't going to say anything, that Zach won't say shit. You know, you've got Music Man here saying these fucking assholes. This is why I hate Snyder shit. And Zach won't say shit. Fucking jackass. I mean, look, these guys are vocal. I don't necessarily believe that they have much of a pull, that they have much of a sway, but they can be very, very, very annoying on social media. And the reason why is all because of Henry Cavill Superman. Right? This right here is why they fight. This little 5-second cameo and everything else that Henry Cavill had said in the weeks after the fact, right? The Enola Holmes 2 press tour and everything else, where that was a constant bit of information and subject to conversation. It really does make you, like, this is what they want. They want him to come back. But as Jimbo then mentioned, you've got the turkey here, right? And this, of course, is a year ago. I think this image fundamentally broke the Snyder fandom. If you want my honest opinion, I think that it was this image that broke everything. And one of the things about this that cracked me up the most was it's just you see the Final Crisis behind him. The turkey's a little bit on the dark side, and it's a funny little stupid ass image. But everyone is now speculating what's going to happen tomorrow, right? What is that going to post tomorrow, and is that going to be something that leads again to another DC Civil War? Right? It's just,
can I just
it's a
add,
question.
I don't mean to interrupt, but like, can we just talk about how the fact that they, like, people have been like fucking like foaming at the mouth over it, and yet nothing came of it. It's been a year, damn near. Like, tomorrow will be a year, and what has come of it? Literally not a single damn thing. And that's why I find it so funny that everyone was like, this broke the fucking fandom, this everything DC, and literally what has come from it? Literally not a goddamn thing. Since that time, we've gotten, oh wow, I mean, in terms of DC, we have gotten a lot of like new updates, but not a lot of content that's actually, DCU related. So I guess like things have changed, but like not a ton. But I guess like in terms of structure and leadership, it has. But for DC content, no, really not.
Well, you got to go back. You got to go back and think about what's happened in the last year. Okay, so or let's say the last nearly 2 years. You had the release of the Snyder Cut, which I do think did revitalize the brand of Superman and Batman. I do think that. The reason why I think that is because of for the exact reason why I feel that they didn't continue with Henry Cavill Superman or Ben Affleck's Batman after 2017's Justice League. And that has a lot to do with the reception of that movie and the fact that it did fundamentally damage the branding of both of those characters as well as the actors who portrayed them. There's a reason why Matt Reeves, who was brought in to direct Ben Affleck's Batman script, ultimately crafted his own project and took it to an entirely new universe because it was damaged. There's no denying that at this point. And so the fact that The Rock was able to get Henry Cavill back was definitely something that has a lot of these guys hopeful for the future. And what's funny about that, and this is where, again, so we've been on for about 12 minutes and the other guys aren't here yet, so I'm not going to wait for them any longer. I do want to dive in to where I think this whole thing is coming from, where I think this whole Civil War thing is coming from. And it goes back, by the way, over 2 years now, back to August 2020, when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson said this.
What you're going to see here is why the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change. The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
The hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Things will never be the same because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Think about that, right? All the times he said that, all the times he said the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is going to change. And all of that led to what? Right? Literally nothing. It all led to literally nothing. It did. It led to literally nothing. In fact, you know what it led to? Just to be on the fair side. Here's if my browser wants to work. Here's what it led to. It led to James Gunn and Peter Safran to lead film, TV, and animation division at Warner Brothers Discovery, right? The co-chairs of the newly formed DC studios. That is what happened. When he opted, he wanted the hierarchy of power to change, and the hierarchy of power did change. It just changed in a way that he didn't want. And if you pay attention to what's been happening, obviously what we're looking at here is a situation where the hierarchy of power didn't go his way. And I think that, of course, is the problem here. So what I want to bring up real quick, just to kind of reiterate my point, and I've said this before, and obviously people out there are going to say here that I'm attacking The Rock. No, I'm providing you guys with information about like where things have been and why I believe things are going the way that they are. So going back over here to thenumbers.com, which is a great website for following data, we can look to see what movies he's been in and the amount of money that he's pulled in. Now, it says here that he's best known as a leading actor based on credits in a role in 27 films with a $5 billion aggregated box office take home worldwide. Okay, so $5 billion is nothing at all to laugh at there, right? So, I mean, he's been in a lot. I might have grabbed actually the wrong, there we go, acting credits, okay? So Black Adam has a worldwide take home of $368 million. DC League of Super Pets, $204 million worldwide. Red Notice, $173,000, by the way. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, but Matt, come on, that was only at Cinemark, only at a few Cinemarks, and it did really well on Netflix, which it did. Funny thing about that too, something to consider, is Knives Out. Knives Out is now in theaters right now for a week. Glass Onion, which was bought and paid for by Netflix for 2 and 3, is in theaters for 1 week, and it will guarantee pull in more than 173,000. And that movie has got a ton of stars, even though in Red Notice, you literally are looking at The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot, 3 mega stars, if that's what you want to call them. All right. That, of course, is what I'm talking about here, is like certain things like that, where you can see movies where he's the lead actor not doing as much. Now, Jungle Cruise, $210 million worldwide, over $100 million in the domestic box office, only 93 internationally. I don't know what it did in regards to Disney Premium, but still $210 million. The Jumanji movies, Fast and Furious, those are movies that, again, those are pre-established franchises where he's a part of an ensemble. So those can't be really calculated. Skyscraper, Rampage, $304 million for Skyscraper, $427 million for Rampage. Baywatch here, $175 million worldwide. You know, Moana was a big one, but then again, he was a co-star. He wasn't the lead of that movie. He was touted as the lead, but I would say that the Moana herself was more of the lead. But again, live action here, and that's also Disney backed with Lin-Manuel Miranda. But then you've got $217 million for Central Intelligence. San Andreas is so far one of his highest grossing ones with $456 million. And that's one that they kept talking about, a sequel that never materialized. You see here, Hercules, $243 million. Pain and Gain, again, he was a co-lead, but you know, whatever. 81. G.I. Joe Retaliation, $375. Snitch. I mean, Journey 2, when he came on into an already pre-established franchise where after Brendan Fraser had left, that was also 10 years ago, almost 11 years ago now, $318 million. It goes on and on and on and on and on. Even Tooth Fairy here, $112 million worldwide. Race to Witch Mountain, $105 million. You know what I mean? If you just look here, The Game Plan, Gridiron Gang, Doom, only $58 million worldwide. You know, he even came out recently and talked shit about that movie. I like Doom. I don't give a fuck. But that, again, he was one of the leads of that movie, but the lead was Carl Urban. Walking Tall, I thought was a really good movie, but only $47 million. The Scorpion King, $165. The Rundown is only $80. So we can see here by just looking at the box office of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he has never, ever, 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 ever been able to actually reach that level that he believes he is at. And he believes that he is a megastar. He believes that he is absolutely fundamentally the guy for like all of this stuff. You know, he is that kind of talent. And I'm going to tell you guys this. More people have probably played him in this than even remotely saw Black Adam. There you go. So kids might see the image of this and they go, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, that's the guy from Fortnite."
Bro, that's just foul. You're foul for that, bro.
No, but here's the thing is I'm being legit. I'm being legit. I am talking about this kind of stuff here. I am trying to be legit. More people probably saw him in Fortnite than actually saw the movie. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's the crazy thing about this is that, or they might know him as he's also in, Fortnite as another character as well, as the 7, right? I think, I don't even know. Okay. But, nah, you're wrong. The guy from Roblox.
No, it's the guy who constantly makes references to putting his foot up someone's ass in almost every movie.
Right? Brogy here says Matt's going on right now. I'm just saying, look, man, Fortnite is a factor. All right. They brought Black Adam into Fortnite to reach that audience. Okay. And it didn't work. It didn't reach that audience. Definitely. Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing, buddy?
What's Fortnite?
Wait, Chris?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. We got to explain to the boomer Chris. Okay.
No, I watch your don't even try it. And by the way, I watch your gaming streams. Don't think I'm not a gamer, okay? I watch them all. I've been balls deep in Modern Warfare 2 for a week now. So.
Oh, dude, I almost have platinum on all my assault rifles.
Oh my God! All right,
I'm not that
RJ, man of the night, even. My God,
of the
RJ.
night, RJ.
Man of the night.
Brainwasher of the century.
Bro, bring James on here and Grace.
No, I can't get James on here. Come on.
Bro, you've been talking to him all
I don't know
night.
what you said, Matt, but don't hype people.
You at least
play.
No, I haven't said anything about that.
Oh, okay.
I haven't said anything about that. That's your deal. That ain't my deal.
Yeah,
I'm here with my own little mission. To talk about what I think is going on between Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and James Gunn, and but I'm talking about, like, look, Kavari here says, right, Fortnite has a player base of over 60 million people, so 60 million people.
Why not try to tap into that audience?
Well, that's why they did it. That's why
they all do Fortnite.
Well, no, do you remember the Rise of Skywalker, where they had the big Rise of Skywalker reveal in Fortnite, and then the opening of the scroll was the Emperor speaks, and you're like, which was in Fortnite, and you're like, who allowed for this to happen? Like, that right there should have been a fireable offense for Kathleen Kennedy. I'm not even kidding you. But when we look at this, it's just, there's more and more and more data. I already went through the Rock's box office totals of movies that he is the leader of, not an ensemble, but his own original movies. And they all kind of run into the same category of how much money that they earn. It's not to say that The Rock himself, like, that there's Rock fatigue. He's not in everything, but it feels like he's everywhere. So that could be a factor. But additionally, it's just he doesn't have the pull in that particular market. Now, that might be different in regards to home video. I don't have any of those metrics because we clearly don't know. But today, he did come out and he made a video where I want to get to this one real quick because, actually, according to, what is it? Let me just bring this up here again. Stupid StreamYard. All right. So Dwayne Johnson slams Warner Brothers for inexcusable Henry Cavill Superman decision. So this is what he did today. And he put out a video. This is the video here. Kind of get about a minute or so into it. Great face right there. We can see here what he's talking about. And I want you guys to listen to what he says and how he says it and how he frames it, because that is going to, again, give a bit more credence to the stuff that I'm saying here.
Acumen, boring business acumen stuff. Our margins don't live and die by box office numbers. It has very long tentacles and tail effects when it comes to how we will do just in terms of our numbers. But the bottom line is this: when I talk about hold on one second, I'm just coming into work. My good morning, hello, amen, thank you very much. When I talk about the hierarchy of power in the DC universe, has changed from a few ways. Number one, we established Black Adam around the world as the most powerful and dominant, unstoppable force in the DC universe. That is a fact. And we established the Justice Society around the world too. And keep in mind, no one, if you were not a hardcore comic book fan, no one heard of Black Adam or the Justice Society. The hardcore comic book fans, we got the love, we got your loyalty, and I appreciate that to the bone. But the rest of the world had no idea who Black Adam was. So we're establishing the brand. And something else that we're establishing is, I felt like two things. If we're going to establish Black Adam as the most powerful, unstoppable force in the DC universe, we have to bring back the most powerful, unstoppable force of all time in any universe. And you guys know who I'm talking about. Of course, that is Superman, and that's Henry Cavill. And, you know, at the end of the day, the studio was not bringing Henry Cavill back. Inexplicably and inexcusably. But we weren't going to take no for an answer. Myself, my $7 co-founder and chairwoman, Danny Garcia, Hiram Garcia, our $7 president. This has been years in the making regarding bringing Henry Cavill back, and years of strategic conversations, and we were not going to take no for an answer. And and also something else to think about is, for us, there was no way, there's no viable, logical way that you can attempt to build out the DC universe without the most powerful force and the greatest superhero of all time sitting on the hot sidelines. It's impossible to do. You know, you can Venn diagram business-wise this whole thing 90 different times, but it all comes back to, where's Superman? You have to have Superman in the mix. So that's why we fought hard to bring Superman back, Henry Cavill. And there was no other Superman, by the way, to bring back. Henry Cavill is our generation's Superman, and in my opinion, the greatest Superman. And I mean that respectfully to the other actors, especially Christopher Reeve, but the greatest Superman of all time. So again, bringing Henry back, now we build out the DC universe properly, strategically, smartly. Again, the hierarchy of power in the DC universe has changed.
Listen.
And of course, now we have new leadership at DC and at Warner Brothers. Again, hierarchy of power in the DC universe has changed. So it's a new era in the DC universe. Thank you guys so much for the Black Adam love. You made Black Adam #1 on iTunes. Enjoy Black Adam throughout.
It literally just hit yesterday. And it like #1 opening on iTunes, which is not bad, but it's like,
no, it's actually pretty good, actually.
It's pretty
Yeah.
good. And I, as critical as I have been about Black Adam, have I not said multiple times, go watch the movie? I even said go get it on VOD.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Go check it out.
No,
I'm gonna try and watch it this weekend.
Save
So.
the money.
It was better
Save
than
the money,
Wakanda,
y'all.
I'll tell you that.
Wait, hold up.
Okay,
You
we're
said
not
it was
we're not
better?
getting into that
No.
conversation. That's too much of a derailed conversation right there.
That is true.
Even though I would argue that to some extent Chris is kind of correct. But anyway, hold on. Joining us, we got Mad Max the Mandalorian. What's up, Max?
I will not stand for this Rock hatred.
Max doesn't stand for any hatred.
Stain, and then all this criticism of The Rock is a gem. I'm a huge fan.
That's fine. You can be a huge fan. We're not talking about the fandom here. What we're talking about what we're talking about is the potentiality of, like I keep bringing up, a DC Civil War. You know, when you look at this,
What are
you
you,
think,
Tim Pool up in here?
I'm just saying. Yes, do a Civil
Whoa.
War.
DC Civil War, like every day.
Poke the Rock. There
What
we
are
go.
What are they gonna do? Storm WB? You
I mean,
become
you know what?
The
Look,
CEU
the kind of guys that want to do a campaign, trying to call James Gunn a pedo to get him to lose his job.
Look at him looking at this.
Look at their faces,
Oh,
man.
I know.
I love those guys.
I'm just saying those are the kind of guys who would wield the suicide vest and run
Well, if
into
you
Warner
watch
Brothers.
that video,
I love
not
everyone,
once
Jimbo.
but twice. Shots fired.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Well, it's funny that Fandom NSL says that The Rock did not mention James Gunn or Peter Safran by name. And that is a
literally
large
said
part of what I've been
you-
talking about here. As I've said this multiple times over the course of the past month, is that looking here again at this image, we see that here's Rock's tweet. And then I responded, why can't you say James Gunn or Peter Safran? Trouble in Paradise? And this triggered a bunch of people, right? This triggered so many people.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
My
My timeline was full of people upset with your tweet. Actually,
yeah. It's again.
Like people are saying that you were.
Keep that same energy, Matt, when you see him in person.
I just think that a lot of
I will.
I honestly believe
if The Rock
that.
beats my ass for making a joke or
you'll be a
making a comment,
millionaire.
I'm going to be a millionaire. Like, that's right. Punch me in the face and see what
Please.
happens. That's right. Like, I'll
You
get dental
jabroni!
surgery.
What did you say, Jarbroni?
Honestly, I think the reason he's not bringing up there now, I
Look at
really
this guy.
think that The Rock believed $7 was going to take over DC.
Well, I do believe that too. And I think the thing is, though, again, he's talking about, like, you know, he gives thanks, he gives all that kind of stuff to the fans, and he's right to do so and everything else. Okay, joining us also is Caden. What's up, Caden?
Hello.
But I think one of the biggest problems here is that he hasn't said their name at all. He hasn't said, you know, James Gunn, Peter Safran. And it's not just James Gunn. Peter Safran produced Shazam, Shazam 2, Black Adam. They know each other from New Line, right? Like, Peter Safran is an agent and was an agent in Hollywood. It was a very prolific,
that is
powerful
weird.
agent in Hollywood. He's well known and well connected. And there's been no public talk about that from Dwayne at all. Now, granted, there's also been no talk from James Gunn about Black Adam. And that could be something. And I feel, and I have a feeling that it goes back, quite frankly, to you know, this particular comment he made at the Black Adam world premiere.
Looking for it's Kevin Feige, it's film chief still. Would you be up to that role?
You're very kind to ask that question. I think the best position that I could be for DC is one as advisor, where I can help, and I can help greatly. I love DC to my blood as a little boy. I grew up loving the Super Friends, specifically Superman. I saw my first Black Adam comic, and it was arresting to me. His face was intense, he looked cool, he looked different, badass, and he had brown skin. So automatically I was relating to him. So I am DC through and through. And in the spirit of growing out the DC universe, I'm here to help in any way I can, including looking for and finding that right leader or leaders.
So he said this, right? This was on, what day was this? I forget which day this was.
It was like right. It was the right.
It was-
I will admit I'm a fan of The Rock, but I think since he pumped it up that much, that he says he wants to help, that it would be nice for him to help with just some social engagement, like congrats.
I think he was
I
just
do.
trying to throw his name in the hat, guys.
He
But
wasn't. He
I-
wasn't
you
trying to
know,
throw his name in the hat. He
Seven
wasn't trying to
Buck.
throw his name.
Yeah,
He's
Seven
trying
Buck.
to bring up Seven Buck and Hiram Garcia, who he mentioned in the car video. He mentioned Hiram in the car video. So, and I was saying this for a while, that I'm like, okay, I'm like, what's the deal with Hiram Garcia? You know, like, what is this guy's deal? Who is this guy? They say he's the that he's the president of Seven Buck. You know, I can't find much on him myself, but I did find this Macmillan Partners profile that says here that Hiram Garcia is the president of production at Seven Buck Productions, a passionate photographer and a film and television producer whose films have amassed over $4 billion in box office revenue. A trusted collaborator in the production process is Seven Buck's co-founder Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia. Garcia oversees all production operations from development to release, in addition to producing projects, which would be the person you would want to oversee DC films, would you not?
Yeah.
Because this guy can oversee development all the way to release. That's effectively what Walter Hamada was doing.
He doesn't have an IMDb.
He does have an IMDb, actually. I got that up right here.
Oh, okay.
I was really trying to get as much done as I possibly could with PowerPoint tonight. I just didn't have time. But looking at his IMDb right here, we can see that he's worked on quite a bit. Just going down his producer role here. But there's a lot of stuff here, right? But look,
Yeah.
Journey 2, associate producer, Hercules, associate producer, Furious 7, consulting producer, San Andreas, co-producer. Well, are we noticing a theme here?
They're all rock movies.
They're all Rock productions. All of these are all things that The Rock has been a part of, or Seven Buck has been a part of, generally speaking. And that to me is like really fascinating. Now I'm not knocking Hiram here, because like the guy he's working with them and he's trying to build it out. But what's funny is coming over here to his DC Extended Universe fandom, this is all they say about him. This is it. This is everything that they got. It's just that like he's an American film producer and the president of production at Seven Buck Productions, and he's an executive producer of Shazam and Black Adam, and that's it. So,
you see
but this is the guy. But this is the guy that they wanted to absolutely take over for DC. You can tell, because when Red Notice came out last year, this is what they were pushing. They were pushing Hiram really, really, really hard. They're going to mention him here again. He's mentioned him multiple times, and I don't want to rag on Hiram at all, because I feel like, the guy's been trying. In fact, and I hate to bring up this website, but it's the first with the one that I found. So October 23rd, 2022, just a couple days after the release of Black Adam, when everyone got to see Henry Cavill back on the big screen for 5 seconds, and everything else, Hiram Garcia ramped up, right? He ramped up a lot of interviews. You can go and look up Hiram Garcia and you will just see a shit ton of interviews with him that are popping up at that time. So it says here, Black Adam producer Hiram Garcia declares long-term plans for Superman are more about more than a fight between two characters that does not reward the fans. Now, obviously, with these two, or with what he's doing, they want to build out a plan where it is Black Adam, it is the Superman. They can find a way to coexist with each other. But you can tell that they were really banking on the success of Black Adam in order to move that needle, right? To really funnel these productions through. And as we saw, the movie opened with 67 million. It did come in above expectations, but it didn't have the legs to carry on. And in a month, it did 368 million. Congrats to that. But it wasn't enough necessarily to kind of move it into that particular place, considering that 2 days after that article dropped is when James Gunn and Peter Safran were named president. And I guarantee you that was a shock to The Rock. I don't think they saw it coming.
No,
not one bit.
I would have to agree, man. I don't want to take shots at DC, but when you have Henry Cavill come back in a movie, even for a few minutes, as Superman with The Rock on a DC, and it breaks even. I don't know, man. I don't know why that movie didn't do better. And so maybe that had a lot to do with their decision. I bet DC was thinking, Jesus, we got to try some fresh blood, because if we can't even do more than break even with Dwayne Johnson, and we brought back Henry Cavill, and the marketing. Did you see the marketing they put in for that movie? Well, The Rock, maybe not.
Well, no, I will say Dwayne
Rock,
put in the lion's share of marketing. He carried that movie on its back, and the success of that movie has a lot to do with him. And I don't want to knock that. We've looked at the box office, but he still carried the movie, you know, and I think everyone here would agree.
And the marketing, I mean, because I remember yelling about, wow, the marketing's really not good on this movie. They're messing up the marketing on this. And then there towards the end, the tail end, right before it came out, The Rock was everywhere, and he wouldn't shut up about it. And he really tried to pump that movie up, and they even brought back Superman. I don't know what else they could have done.
All right. Well, Mad Max had to bail. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning for him. I get it. So no, I get it totally. It is a full panel tonight, which I usually don't have, so I get that. But one of the things I also wanted to kind of touch upon here is this article from the Hollywood Reporter, which happened a week before the announcement that James Gunn and Peter Safran would be.
I'll be honest, I forgot about this article because so much has happened since.
So much has I know, right? That was the thing, trying to put together the.
We were oh my God, this huge article, DC, clearly there's, something else going on. And we're expecting someone else to take over. And because it says James Gunn pitched a secret DC movie, okay, clearly James is going to have a bigger influence on DC. But we didn't think as such a big influence as co-head of the DC studios.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, there's a passage down here that says, while it isn't clear what hero or teams Gunn is targeting and the writer-director would focus on a second season of Peacemaker first, the studio's eyes are very much on Superman. Under the Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav and Warner's has an intense desire to reprise Cavill's iteration of the hero. The problem, or the project, would essentially be Man of Steel 2, produced by Charles Roven, and is currently searching for writers. But that's kind of been I think this might have been a preemptive one.
Well, I said this on Max's stream, is that we know that Spider-Man 6 is happening, or we know another trilogy for Holland is happening, and they're probably looking for writers and directors for that, whatever. But it doesn't mean that Holland has signed a new deal yet. You know, like they
Yeah.
can be looking for a new creative team for his new trilogy, but doesn't mean that Holland or Cavill doesn't mean they signed a new contract to star in this new trilogy. You know, so I mean, and I think what's happening here is they're wanting to wait until they have a creative team behind Man of Steel 2 before going to Cavill and signing a deal. So then they're like, okay, like if Cavill signs on, he's signing on this to do this exact Man of Steel 2 movie that we have greenlit for him. And so it's not like, okay, we'll see we'll see what Cavill thinks about this. No, they're going to be like, okay, Man of Steel 2 is going to be us, and then Man of Steel 3 and on is going to be Cavill creatively input as well. From that, probably.
Yeah, well, I think they're working on it, but it does, go on to say here that like even Johnson has plans of his own. So this is what, when I bring up the concept of a civil war, I do it, I mean, obviously hyperbolically, but I think it's an interesting factoid where this shit was a month ago. Things have now fundamentally changed. I mean, like Henry Cavill went on that massive press tour that was basically like, I'm back making the rounds, and then, but with Black Adam, I mean, I saw Darkness Under the Wind here. It says Cavill saved Black Adam and made it phenomenal. How?
Yeah. What?
Like how? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. It was cool. Like this is cool, but it was.
I can kind of see like how for somebody like that made the movie for them. Like it made like a
sure.
special moment,
I can get that. Yeah. Will there be a documentary about the Black Adam marketing? There should be. I should write it. I should write the Black. Although I'd probably be like the most biased motherfucker on the planet. Because there's so much there to kind of laugh at with the marketing of that movie. But I feel like what Gunn's been doing is Gunn's, at this point been absolutely trying to establish that this motherfucker's in control. And I think that's the biggest problem is like, look, you can tell like the Rock has had a plan. He's been working on this. He says not even the video that they were working for 15 years to get Black Adam in theaters, which is weird because didn't he get like brought in? Didn't he sign up in 2009 for the role? Not 2007. I don't really know. It's kind of a nitpick. It is what it is. But I feel like what he's trying to do is, he's trying to, I think he's trying to get the fan base on his side. That's my take. Because when you get stuff like this, and this happened just the other day, DC boss debunks Henry Cavill's big Superman contract rumor. Yes. This is it. Yeah. Yeah. And we'll get to a little bit of that too. So the thing with that though is, again, James Gunn has come out. He's debunked Grace Randolph. He's debunked Mikey Sutton. He's debunked other people. He wants to play this stuff close to his chest because he doesn't want to break the surprise right now. I get that. And he doesn't want there to be false expectations. We get that too.
Patience
is something here, but The Rock, you can tell, doesn't have patience. He doesn't have it. You listen to that bit in that where he's talking about the hierarchy of power has changed, and he's referring to like, now there's Warner Brothers Discovery, David Zaslav, and then he brings up, Warner Brothers has new leadership, but doesn't, and then he goes, the hierarchy of power has changed. He says it again.
But how? I'm confused. You think The Rock is trying to get fans on his side?
Yes.
Okay, but
why? Right? But
yeah,
why?
Because there's, as far as everyone knows, a line hasn't been drawn yet. There is no
not
their
yet.
side or our side.
Not yet. It's preemptive.
It's he's campaigning for a war that hasn't started yet.
Yeah, in my opinion, he's absolutely campaigning for a battle. Yeah, it's what it is. It's negotiation through the trades. All right. To give you guys a prime example, Caden brought up Tom Holland and the Spider-Man scoop. Go back to 2019 when all of a sudden it came out that Sony and Marvel's deal fell through for a third Spider-Man movie, and Holland was out and the whole thing was in shambles and everyone was like, right. People were really freaked out about that. And then Sony comes out and they drop this like 3-tweet screed where they basically throw Kevin Feige under the bus. Well, Kevin Feige was too busy to make the movie, which we all know is bullshit, right? But they tried to deflect and they tried to get people on their side because nobody had backed Sony. Everyone was backing Marvel because Marvel had the wherewithal to have established the fan base and the trust of that fan base in order to have them come to their defense.
Can I also bring something else too, real quick too? That was a major factor because that was there ground zero during that whole fight.
Oh yeah, you were at Disney D23, right?
No. Well, not that year, but I knew someone who was there. The thing is, you have to remember, this came out right after Far From Home, which ended on a cliffhanger. So the fans were pissed, being like, "You're going to remove Spider-Man from the MCU. We're not going to get the conclusion of the story." That was also an even bigger deal because of the way the movie ended. That also fueled that fan campaign. Because you remember the end of Far From Home, that cliffhanger.
Yeah. That was a great cliffhanger.
It's like people are like, "We're not going to see the resolution of this." Hell
Which
no.
cliffhanger? The one where nobody remembered Peter? That one?
No, the one where they doxed him.
Yeah, where Mysterio revealed his identity to the world.
Oh, Far From Home, not No.
Yeah.
And then we got J. Jonah Jameson back, and that was just perfect.
Yeah,
that was
like,
what?
I was so lost for a second there.
Yeah, and it was a huge cliffhanger. Being like, people were like so excited for the next movie, and it's like, oh my god, we're not going to get it, and that fueled a lot of that campaign as well.
Yeah, so you're right. You're absolutely right. There was a big thing on that one because Far From Home was a good movie. I mean, I know diehard, bitter, cynical people that were like, I fucking love Far From Home, man. So yeah, and you're right. That was a big factor. But again, Marvel had the fan base. Marvel had the trust of the fan base. They'd earned it.
Can you imagine if they would have done that though? They're gonna pull an Andrew Garfield on Tom Holland and not give him that third movie? Like what? What?
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine if Marvel would have done that?
Isn't wrong. I was one of the people freaking out about that as well. I was pissed because because we had just gotten J. Jonah Jameson back. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like even the end of Venom 2, where he all of a sudden ends up in the MCU. I was like, fuck yeah, man. Like I was in it. I was like, yes, just like leave him here. Awesome. Yeah. Make it work, dude. And then they yank him out right away. That was bullshit. But the thing is though, is look, once the emotions settle down and you start looking at it from a business perspective, you know, that they were going to solve the deal. And I was one of the ones that kept saying that. I'm like, look, business wise, there's too much money on the table. Sony simply doesn't have the capacity to fuck this up, right? Like they don't have the financials to do this shit on their own. So like, they're not going to fuck with it. And so that's why they sorted the whole goddamn thing out. And obviously, you know, Disney is way bigger than Sony, at least Sony Pictures. So Bob Iger could, you know, wield some influential power, and they made it work. And they're all better off for it. I mean, what, 1.9 billion for No Way Home?
No Way Home.
And Marvel got 25% of that. The rest all the rest of the profit went to Sony. So they made a pretty good penny off of that.
Hell yeah, they made it.
Never mind the re-release and the home video sales and everything else.
And whatever
so I think
stuff is they call in hotel rooms and stuff like that, whatever that's called.
Oh yeah. PVO, pay-per-view, right? Or it's
it's called something else.
Well, that's what, in my mind, that's what's keeping the porn industry alive. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Okay, look, you can get it for free on websites, right? But if you go to a hotel, you got to pay for internet.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because
they know you're going to watch porn in a hotel.
They know you're going to probably want to watch porn on that. So, you know, it's a thing. Hotels ain't dumb. If you're gonna nut, they want your buck, right? So anyway, moving on. I think that right now, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is flat out laying the groundwork for a potential war between James Gunn if it doesn't go his way. And he's gonna do it. You know, he's going to.
But why go to civil war when the company already elected Gunn as the leader that they want to follow?
Because he's going to want to pressure Gunn into backing his play.
Listen, The Rock wants that Superman versus Black Adam movie. He wants it. That's what he's hinting at. That's what all this is about.
So you don't think The Rock would be a team player? Just be happy that Superman and Black Adam can be in a movie together?
Not at all, man. Not at all. We've seen this time and time again. That he's not a team player.
People behind it.
What if he meets with James Gunn and they have like a really good meeting? And
maybe they could, but he's The Rock. Listen, if nothing else, he's diehard loyal. He's never gonna like push Danny out. That's his ex-wife, man. Like, you know what I mean? That's the mom of his kids. He wants his people behind the project. I understand where he's coming from, but if Zaslav says, "Look, this is how it's gonna be," then that's how it's going to be. That's who's running DC. They're not going to like change their mind now. I don't know what The Rock is thinking.
I think what he's trying to do is I think if you want my honest take on it, I think he's looked at the success of the Snyder Cut fandom, and he knows goddamn well, he knows how powerful them motherfuckers are on Twitter,
social media,
and how annoying
power.
they are.
Yeah.
And he knows that. Now, like, he commands a large audience on Instagram, over 360 million people, but with very small like numbers for engagement. So a lot of that is, I don't think bots, but I think inactivity. Even though Instagram is a lot of bots. Oh my God. You think Twitter is bad? Jesus. TikTok, he's got 60 million followers on there. He's got something like that over there on Twitter as well. So, I mean, like, he's got an audience of people, but they're not as engaged. They're not as active as, let's say, the Snyder fans. And as I showcased a little bit ago, just to bring it up again for prosperity here, right? You got these guys that are like front line. These guys are front and center on the war.
The front line of Nation.
The front line of
they're the bodyguards. They're the Gestapo.
These guys are a great representation.
They're
of why
useful
you need to get
idiots.
educated.
They're useful idiots at best.
Hold on. They're the Gestapo. They're the Gestapo.
Yeah. All right. Fine. I'll grant you that. Like, they are a little bit. They are a little bit there,
Guys,
and I know they're watching this right now.
But
in school,
you can't
get your
deny.
education, listen to your teachers. Otherwise, this is what you end up like.
You cannot deny that those people, whether how we feel about them or not, they are hardcore, passionate, almost conspiracy theory level, dedicated to that shit. You get 10, 15,000 people like that. That's an army.
Well,
That's
so the idea there is, again, like, Henry Cavill we see him in Black Adam. So it's been proven that The Rock can bring him back.
The Rock's recruiting stupid people.
Right. Well, no, The Rock, he's being smart. Let's be fair. Let's put on our business hat for a second and look at the logistics.
No, The Rock's being smart.
Yeah, you're still in college. You're still learning. You're still learning, Caden. Or sorry, fucking Jim.
Wow.
You guys are both young.
Wow.
You guys are both young.
I used to get them mixed up.
Are a great couple. But
I used to get you two mixed up all the time.
Yeah. Well, real quick here, Rational for 5 bonus. Thanks, buddy. Says Matt Gunn. Isn't Gunn kind of stuck with the Cavill, Gal, Momoa, and The Rock? If he recasts, he might as well do a hard reboot. I mean, he's stuck as far as contracts go, but as we've determined in regards to the Henry Cavill thing, there are no contracts, right? Gal Gadot is she's contracted for Wonder Woman 3. In fact, her own husband and her have started a production company that will help take on Wonder Woman 3. Do you guys know that?
Who Gal did?
Gal and her husband did. Yeah, this wasn't wide news.
Isn't the first movie for them
Wonder Woman 3 or something else?
Or the Netflix movie that she has.
Oh, dude, that looks fucking good, by the way. The Heart of Stone looks good.
It does look good.
That looks
for a
fucking
Netflix
wicked.
movie?
Yeah, man. Extraction vibes.
Is there I need to see that.
There's a trailer. You can go look it up on it's called Heart of Stone. It looks solid. It comes out, I think, early next year.
I thought someone said Hands of Stone for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, is that like a boxing?
Trust me,
already?
if I was in her hands, I'd be Hands of Stone too.
You need to stop. Chud watch.
Anyway, no, I'm just saying. Like, the thing is, Aquaman 3 might be something that's already been negotiated. We don't know. Wonder Woman 3 is something that's been greenlit through the previous regime, so we know that's going to happen. I'm glad that James Gunn is in charge because he'll oversee the script and he'll approve the script. But when it comes to Cavill, that is not something that is currently in play as well as the others. And I know Max and others like to bring up the argument of, well, why would he come back if nothing was in place? Because handshake agreements happen, tentative agreements happen, and he wants to meet with James Gunn and talk about that. And he also needs to negotiate for what he wants, which is a producer credit. And let me just quickly say, I fully support that. Like, if he doesn't get a producer credit and he comes back, I'm going to say, fucking dump your management because they're fucking you over again. And I think
he deserves a producer role at this point. I agree.
He does. And because, looking again, like talking about if you look at everything with Henry Cavill, and I know RJ disagrees with me, but I think I make a pretty good case for it. is Justice League was bad, and it did damage Superman and Henry Cavill playing him. Because if you think about it, the only movie he had in production at the time, during 2017, was Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah.
And there was the whole mustache thing over that, right? And I think even Max last night was going off about like Henry and the mustache, and it's like you do realize like Henry couldn't shave the mustache, like he couldn't shave it, even though Warner Brothers offered to pay Paramount $3 million to allow him to shave the mustache, and Macquarie was going to allow it, but the heads of Paramount said, "Fuck no, we're not taking your money."
Did you ever see the Tom Cruise interview about that? Do you know why they wanted him to have a mustache?
Because he looked badass.
And they didn't want him to look like Superman. They didn't want people to see that villain and see Superman. You know what I mean? They needed to change him up.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. And I'm not like, even though like, but the thing is though, like, let's be real, like something like as like, you know, as kind of like, I wouldn't say like significant as like a mustache. Like, bro, they're literally creating like CGI like villains and shit, and you're telling me they like struggled hardcore over a fucking mustache?
Yeah.
Dude, it's
like,
difficult. It's no. It's a CG character is like it's a full 3D render. There's a skeleton.
Okay,
there's
tell that to the people who did Alita Battle Angel. Tell that to them where they literally had to make a whole CGI body but keep a face, bro.
Have you seen the contraption she had to wear on her face while they shot that?
Yeah, I saw it behind the scenes.
So they're not going to sit there and put like a weird ass like contraption on Henry Cavill's face in order to like
movie.
You know, and it is. It's on Hulu now, by the way.
I wanted that sequel, man. We're never gonna.
Dude, I'm still hopeful.
So
I'm still
good.
hopeful for an Alita sequel. I think we all are at this point. If Avatar 2 does well, maybe Disney will be like, okay,
dude, James Cameron was on board and stuff like that. He was a writer on it. Like, bro, Alita is such a great movie. I want to see them go to Zalem, bro.
Yeah, I wanted to see Ed Norton as the villain. There's so much about. We're gonna get sidetracked.
I know,
bro.
I was bummed out about that one, man.
I bought a couple copies of that on Blu-ray on 4K. Actually, it was on sale for like $10 each or whatever, and I bought a couple copies. I think I gave them away. If I still have them, I need to give them away. But again, going back to being on point here, it's like, if you think about where James Gunn is at, where they're figuring things out, like, and also this could be a thing with Safran too, right? We're talking about it from a Gunn perspective, but Safran executive produced Shazam 2, Aquaman 2. I think he worked on Black Adam as well.
I think he might have, because it's connected to Shazam through New Line. But yeah, if you really understand, it is a true partnership between those two. They're both involved in decisions. So
they are. And so it's entirely possible that they, you know, and then also, well, you know, Safran coming from New Line was friends with Hamada. There was a reason why Hamada didn't want Henry Cavill. There was a reason why they weren't going that route. And I do think it has a lot to do with the reception of Justice
Apparently, League. Peter was not a part of Black Adam.
Okay.
Yeah. I looked at it. I'm like, that's weird, but he's not.
Okay. That is a little bit weird, but then at the same time, it's like we can tell that The Rock has absolutely overshadowed. You know, he's walked away from Shazam. He's walked away from it. He wants nothing to do with it. You know, he'll take credit if it does well. He did that when the first movie came out. There was actually, when the first movie came out after its opening weekend, he put out a video claiming credit for it, and a lot of people didn't know that he had produced the movie. So they were like, what the fuck are you doing to taking credit for this movie?
A lot of people forgot that The Rock was heavily involved with the Shazam separation from Black Adam and everything. That's all The Rock.
And that's all The Rock. And the you know, he's openly talked about how he split the movies, or he successfully campaigned to Warner Brothers to split the movies, which I think makes sense, to be fair. But, you know, again, where he hasn't talked about popping up as a cameo in Shazam 2, which at this point, guys, they fucking should. They absolutely should.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Shazam 2. They are not, $7 is not a producer on Shazam 2.
Oh.
Yeah, see, something's going on. There's something there that we don't know about that's going on with those guys. Maybe they fell out.
Maybe. That's a little bit weird, to be honest with you. Let me
Yeah,
see.
I
that's
took
weird.
one look at the box office for Black Adam and it's like, all right, I'm kidding. No,
I didn't hate Shazam, and believe it or not, the trailer for part 2 looks pretty fun.
dude, it looks like
You know?
my thing is like, my whole thing is like, people are saying like Dwayne Johnson would be like a way better leader or something like that. Like I keep saying, at least from like Skywalker and them say like James Gunn and them like are crappy leaders. I'm like seeing her like, and you're telling me that Dwayne Johnson would be a better one when he was hyping up this generic ass movie with some like with horribly generic lines and moments. Like this is who you'd rather have. It's just like my thing is like I understand like he's can make these good business decisions such as getting Henry Cavill back.
Yeah, no,
Always
I'm with you. I know
fighting
where
for
you're
that.
going with this.
But in terms of creative and like
Yeah.
just acting wise, like he's not there.
As
James
big
Gunn
as,
is
I was
definitely
just
the
gonna
better
say
choice,
that.
bro.
I was literally just gonna say it. As
He
big
doesn't
as The
have
Rock
that.
is, he's just not there yet. Okay?
He's been playing the same
Your
like he
mind
doesn't have range. That's
the
the
mind
thing.
of a James Gunn is built so differently than the mind of a Dwayne Johnson. You know what I mean? Like it's just not.
It's not even that.
It's
just
not even the same
the
thing,
range.
man.
Like even though James Gunn is not an actor, he has more range in his writing and his talents in terms of that and what he's good at. That's why he's able to pivot and do this job as well I predict he can be. Dwayne Johnson hasn't like done a lot different in terms of the style of his movies or the way he portrays each character. It's like I said at the beginning of the stream, he's like he always has that one like foot up the ass joke in every single movie that I've seen. It's like funny. It's like he plays. I know a lot of people say like he plays like the same character, which I mean like are they wrong? Not really, because it's like he's always like kind of the big strong guy in every movie. He
Well,
doesn't
he's
have
his
that range.
generation's Arnold, man. I mean, he is.
Yeah, but
I mean,
does that help him to be
is
a
it
different
strange
character,
if
or
I feel like The Rock's best roles in Moana? You know, like I think it's Maui. You know,
No, you're not. I mean, I love The Rundown. I thought he was great in The Rundown. I enjoyed
I liked him in Walking Tall. Believe it
Yeah,
or not.
Walking Tall was really
Walking
solid.
Tall too. Yeah, of course. You know, he's been in. I mean, listen, you know, what was that one movie he's in? The football one.
Gridiron Gang?
Gang.
Yeah.
No, the Disney one.
Oh shit.
That was Gridiron Gang.
Oh, with the
No,
little
no.
girl. With the
Yeah,
little
the
girl.
girl.
Game
Yeah,
plan. Game plan.
Game
The Game Plan. Yeah, that was a fun movie back when I was a
Okay,
kid.
that's some shit though. That is.
What
some
about-
shit.
No, that
yeah.
was a good movie. Go back and watch it. It was a good movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's like the shit. You know, I love that movie.
Oh,
Fast and
okay.
Titus and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that movie's solid as hell.
I don't know, man. I can't really think of too many Rock movies that I hate. You know, even The Tooth Fairy was kind of funny. Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's. I mean, it's not to say that there's anything there worth really hating.
But they are all the same. They are.
So I mean, yeah. But again, it's like he plays a certain role, and he's been typecast as that role, and because of that, you can tell. Again, looking at the worldwide box office take home, the audience generally is the same.
My favorite
Yeah.
movie by him, guys, is one that a lot of people haven't watched, but the reason it's my favorite is because of how dark he is in it. It's called Faster.
Faster was good.
He's just a different.
Dude,
it's a different version of The Rock in that one, and it's probably why I like it because he's dark.
It's
He
the
barely
only
talks.
like variation of The Rock's acting that I think I could probably tell. I mean, like when you think of all like between Journey, Fast and Furious, obviously his character, it's like they all had that similar vibe and that tone to it. But with Faster, it's like that vibe and that tone, but like way kind of more
Dark.
dialed up.
Yeah, just
exactly.
and really dark, man.
Which is why I dig it.
yeah, I
like,
dig that movie.
There's,
yeah.
Again, like I think to not like to keep talking in circles because we can kind of move on. Although Asher brings up Martin Scorsese's Goncharov, greater than Black Adam. I don't even know what the fuck that is.
I don't know.
I don't know who that is
I'm
either.
googling it. I'm googling it right
Gorbachev?
now. It's an old. Wow, it's got Pacino, De Niro, Hackman, and Keitel. The greatest mafia movie ever made. I never fucking heard of this movie.
Why have I never heard of it then?
Yeah, although
It's
the
so
article
good. No one
the
heard of it.
article on New
Yeah.
York Times says the very first sentence is Tumblr cinephiles have a new favorite movie this week. I love that only because
Only because.
it's Tumblr cinephiles are hysterical now that Tumblr is coming back because it's allowing porn again. So that's how you know you save porn, when it goes to the Tumblr. But I'll take a look at that one there. So Nate here says Central Intelligence was great. It had good moments, but it was hardly
Central
the funniest
Intelligence
thing.
was fun.
And Kevin Hart carried that movie.
Kevin Hart carried that movie. Yeah, Kevin Hart does a lot. Okay, so I guess look, to let me ask you guys this then, because to kind of finish up this topic of the DC Civil War, do you feel that things are going to come to a head, or they're going to be able to figure it out?
I'm confident they're going to figure it out.
I do too. I've never seen, the only beef I've ever seen The Rock get into was with
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel. I was going to say Dominic.
Typically The Rock is a very business,
and that's
man.
got a lot to do with. He doesn't want
his personal stuff to mix with business.
Yeah, and that's got a lot to do with the way Vin Diesel was acting, not The Rock. You know what I mean? Like, and then Vin Diesel wanted to come crawling back, and by then The Rock was like, "Motherfucker, you've done nothing but drag me for 5 years. Fuck you, man. I ain't coming back."
Oh
like,
no.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. But I guarantee you though, with the there was a video that came out the other day. The Rock had put out a vlog where he is talking about the success of Black Adam and how it's creeping up on Hobbs and Shaw and Fast 9. He says it might beat out the domestic box office for Fast 9. And
well, so he's throwing digs now too.
So he threw a dig. He threw a dig, dude. He threw a fucking hard dig at both movies because Vin Diesel executive produced both movies. So he threw a hard dig in both films. I think that's really funny. I do. I think it's hysterical.
I got to be honest. I don't think it's if there's a split there, some sort of schism going on. I don't think it's between him and Gunn. I think it's between him and that Peter Safran guy.
Maybe, but I think because Gunn's the public face of it.
Gunn's the public face, but I think most of the issues The Rock would have is with Peter Safran.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, and this is my speculation, I want to clarify that, folks. This is speculation. Okay. I do think that The Rock, for whatever reason, does not want to be brought down to the level of Shazam and interact with Shazam as a character because he thinks he's above Shazam. Like, Shazam is too small of a character and movie franchise. So you go for the bigger guns, which is Superman, the Justice League. And that's where the conflict is coming in, because you're having this dichotomy of, well, I'm playing a Shazam villain, but I don't want to fight Shazam because that's too small of a scale.
Which is funny because if The Rock, look, if anybody can take a C-list character or someone that is obscure and they don't even know about it and turn it into something big, it's James Gunn. You know what I mean? Like, he did it with Guardians of the Galaxy. He did it with the second Suicide Squad movie, man. I mean, he turned a fucking giant starfish. Come on, man. Like, this dude thinks outside the box, man. So I don't know. It just
exactly,
maybe it's Dwayne's
bro.
ego. I don't know.
Well, it absolutely is Dwayne's ego.
That's what I'm saying. He's great for this job because he's able to take like lesser known characters and make them huge. Like, exactly like Guardians of the Galaxy. So imagine what he can do with bigger characters.
Nobody gave a shit about Peacemaker. Nobody till the show came out. And everyone was like, Cena, what? And now look at it. It's a huge hit, and everybody's thirsty for season 2. I can't wait for season 2.
And that's why I think like he's such a great choice for this, because it's like, who else is able to bring life and attention to such underwhelming and such unknown characters such as Peacemaker? Like, no one before James Gunn brought Peacemaker out knew even who Peacemaker was. A lot of people didn't. But that's my thing. Like, if he's able to do such great and like amazing things with such unknown characters, he's definitely gonna be able to do great things with the main people as well, like Superman, Batman. Because it's like, obviously, if you put so much attention and detail to these smaller characters, he's gonna be able to do, I would just say, bigger things with the characters all around, not just obviously the ones that he focuses on, but
if you follow like the political thought process of Hollywood, though, just Harcourt having that little cameo in Black Adam, you know what I mean? Like, that had to go. Like, that's James Gunn's wife, That's like that's got to be like considered an olive branch at some point, Like, yeah, man, put her in the movie for a minute, So I think The Rock and James are fine. I think you're right. He's the public face, man. He's the public face, and he's gonna have to take the shit from The Rock because Saffron. But I really believe it's got something to do with that Peter Saffron guy and the
It
Rock.
Probably does. You're probably right. I don't think
especially after hearing about the Shazam 2 thing, they're not even involved. Like what?
Well, I was looking at it, and then I was looking at Shazam. The Saffron Company and Seven Bucks Production are credited, but then if you go to Shazam 2, Peter Saffron is credited as a producer, but if you go to companies, neither companies are involved. It's just the standard New Line, WB Home Entertainment, Water Tower, like those, standard companies. So I wonder if but they have Saffron there, so I'm like, okay. I mean, Saffron's there because he's, obviously a producer on it, and now he's overlooking it. I mean, I don't know. So.
Yeah, but okay, Mladen, I don't know much about this blacklist, this I'll never work with this person ever, you're never working this town again thing that James Gunn supposedly has. But to even imply that The Rock might be on that list, you would have to have a reason for it. Otherwise, it's just speculation and rumors, man. It's just like what makes you think The Rock is somehow on James Gunn's shit list?
Well, okay. So I mean, look,
you mess with my boy Peter Saffron, you on the list.
No. Well, here's the thing, though: is Gunn has known Peter Saffron for years. Saffron was his agent; they're very good friends. Saffron has produced, I think, all of Gunn's work for the most part, outside of Marvel, at least. Film Goblin here does make a good point, and I did mention this earlier as well. Why hasn't Gunn mentioned anything about Cavill yet? And that again is, I think, because they're trying to figure out.
I mean, he hasn't mentioned anything.
You don't want to comment on negotiations that you're having. The most that he's ever done in regards to Cavill was respond to Mikey's BS article.
Yeah,
and he said no one knows anything, including new contracts that haven't even been signed yet.
Me and Peter, that's it. We're the only ones that know anything, and they're playing everything pretty close to their chest. It looks like they are.
Yeah, once February comes, when February comes, then I think that's when things really will start leaking, but barely. And then I'm sure they'll want to reveal at least the first year or two of their fate.
I'll agree, Mladen. It's not out of the realm of possibility. I'm just saying, I thought you might have known something we don't, or that we haven't read yet. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Hollywood's very fickle, very political. And I'm not talking about like our politics. I mean, like Hollywood politics. It's just a very grimy place at times, and people can get on a bad
Chris
side of somebody.
knows, guys, all right. He likes to be the grime on the floor. Like the gum underneath the desk. He knows. He's in that shit.
Shit, Matt probably knows more than I do. I never lived in LA. I don't know the number side and all that stuff. I just know how backstage politics works. Be it as something as low as YouTube or hell, high school football. There's politics backstage in the locker room or anywhere. WWE and Hollywood. We all know that's how Hollywood works.
Who's got the biggest swinging dick in the shower?
Well, I didn't look at no dicks in the shower, but I've seen a lot of dicks.
Oh, speaking of dicks in the shower,
in the prison, you see a lot of dicks, bro.
Yeah. Well, Porky's is streaming on Amazon.
Yeah, it's been there for a while, actually.
I didn't know it was there. I just saw that it was there today.
Yeah,
all three Porkies are there.
Yeah, they've been there for a long time. Yeah,
man, the second movie that's all about like them trying to steal a porno.
My favorite part of the second one is with the zombie where he's all drunk. Woogie 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 woogie. I laugh so much every time.
No, you guys have got to see fucking Porkies, woogie. Dude.
It's hilarious.
Hold on, real quick. Taylor just sent this to me. Black Adam, the Man of Steel, and One Punch Man.
Saitama. Let's fucking Saitama all the way. Bro would literally like sit there and just stare at him and be like, "Oh, okay, I'm hungry. I want some noodles or something," and just fucking bro. Saitama's a goat.
Well, he's also, I'm going to be honest, I think it's rubbing people the wrong way. I guess elitist, maybe not me, but this whole Black Adam's the strongest. Like what?
Wait,
are you talking? Have you never heard of Dark Side?
The Rock is black, so why is he not on a blacklist?
I think he's trying to make a joke.
Wow, Command Unit. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Like Matt don't get enough shit.
I don't know. I disavow.
Matt I'm your PR manager. Don't make a comment.
Don't make a
And
comment.
Isaac jumps in right away, cancel Jarbo.
What did I do?
Fucking Isaac was ready
Fucking
for
Isaac.
it. Fuck, Isaac, where are you at?
That's Taylor. Brandon likes this as awesome art. That's Taylor the animator. Taylor's always in the stream. He's a good friend of mine from San Diego. Good dude. Check out his stuff. But then we also got well, there are a couple funny things else that happened with James Gunn today. Let's see.
Oh wait, this is my tweet.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. We got to go backwards a little bit. I got a little bit fucked up on that.
I know.
So this guy here, man, this is the new Geeks,
Leon
right?
of the New Geeks, Mr. Leon.
Yeah. So he was upset at
he was full on crying.
This is one of the reasons why they're crying over on Syl stream over on Skywalker stream about all this stuff.
Right now, dude.
It's
so
because he says,
Get
did he keep that? He's talking about James Gunn. Did he keep that same energy for Warner Brothers and Henry Cavill? No. Then he might want to relax, focus on DCU slate, and stop worrying about Twitter. And that slate had better be more Zack Snyder Justice League and less Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Feel me? I'm done hearing about Z-listers. We want the icons. Bring on the Trinity.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Not to mention, shut the fuck up. Not to mention, James Gunn has always been prominent on social media, and he hasn't really. They're acting like he's on Twitter all fucking day long.
Bro, that's part of his job to understand what the fans want and like interact with the fans. Like, bro, they complained about like the last regime not seeing or not communicating, but James Gunn now does it too much. Like either
that's
like,
that's why these
fucking
motherfuckers
bro.
That's why these
fucking
motherfuckers
goddamn
are
unintelligent dumbasses, bro.
with a hard
fucking
R.
understand what you say. It's
flat out fucking remedial with a hard R because these motherfuckers.
all I heard was hard R, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta shut up. I heard.
I heard him say. Bro. I heard him say remedial with a hard R.
Yeah, they're fucking because I can't use the other R word. They're fucking stupid. Listen, that's like saying,
like,
hey
the
man,
R is at
you
the
better
front
not
of the
stop
word.
and get
The
lunch.
R is at the front of the word.
It's like, dude, why? Let's like, bro. Like, I get it. You love Zack Snyder, but stop gurgling his balls. Stop, okay.
Okay. So going on a little bit more here. By the way, guys. If you're having fun, we're 123 people, 26 likes. Smack the like. Hit the like button. Let's get to 50 likes. We can get to 50.
All I'm saying is, if a motherfucker stops once or twice out of the day and throws up a tweet, it isn't messing with his ability to run a company. Shut the fuck up. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. That's like saying don't stop for your lunch break. You should be worrying about Zack Snyder's Justice League. Shut the fuck up, man. That crew over there is so stupid.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
James Gunn is a bad leader because he's been in office or been running things for 3 weeks, and we haven't got a single movie out. We haven't done all this. Like, how fucking dumb are you? Dude?
No. You want to hear? Here's the thing.
God.
RJ's been working up a storm behind the scenes, I think, because he posted this today, talking about the New Geek. Says again, such a weird loser energy from Bob Digi 69 and the New Geeks.
Guy.
The Carlos guy. And how dare you try and communicate with the fans? Gunn, shut up and get to work, weirdo. All of this from Leon for 2 scoopers. He and the Cool Table want to claim are their best friends. And so this is a total dig. Notice it's got 39 likes there. Just 39 likes.
There's a reason why it got more likes than normal.
Yeah, and that's because James Gunn verified, liked the tweet.
But guys...
He still hasn't up, by the way. He still liked it.
But guess what? Did Grace like it? Because apparently y'all are friends too, because they're fucking stupid, dude.
Can I say something real quick,
right.
Matt?
They said that in a stream earlier.
Can I say something real quick, Matt?
Fucking morons, bro.
I would just like to say to everyone, James Gunn is very much aware of people like Skywalker and Leon and all those clowns. Trust me, they're aware of them, and they do not like them one bit.
What do you mean, RJ? Are you friends? Holy shit.
I'm just saying, trust me, they're aware of the toxic fans out there. That's all I'll say.
Which is why I feel it's kind of weird that The Rock is kind of supporting that to an extent. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I think The Rock is trying to appeal to what he thinks is the most popular and most vocal fandom. So it makes sense he would latch himself onto the Snyder cult. I don't think he's trying to do it maliciously. It's more so he's just looking to engage with the largest social media audience possible that he thinks is out there. So
they're not the largest, so they're just the loudest.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I'm just saying, like, in terms of size, but yeah, listen, man. I want to clarify too, just so people are aware. I did not tag James in that tweet. He found that like himself. So, I mean,
look, James likes to hang
pays
out.
Attention. He pays attention.
Yeah, look, at this point, James you can tell that he's having fun. You can tell that he's having fun going on Twitter and pissing off these dudes. Like, he's having a good time with that.
I think he's having fun with life, period, these days, and that's a good thing. You get better content when someone's having fun and loving what they do. You know, I have nothing but high hopes for what's going to happen with him at the helm. I don't see the sky is falling like everybody else. The only reason the truth is, the only reason these people are bitching is because they didn't get their Snyder shit and their scoops were lies.
But
that's it.
Are they also mad that that James Gunn was more responsive to RJ than them?
Yeah, well, these guys that get all these scoops. Meanwhile, guys like Enosh are on panels with directors like Zack Snyder. They're on panel, you know what I mean? Like I don't, RJ can actually, I just don't want to hear this shit about they know so much and you don't know what we know. You don't know shit. Yeah, we don't know we do know. We do know you're lying. We do know you're grifting. We do know you're full of shit. And so does James Gunn. And everybody else should too. And the only people that agree with you are other dick riders. Shut the fuck up.
Besides that, they literally slander and say so much disgusting shit about James Gunn when they're mad like fucking children. It's like, no wonder why this guy doesn't want to engage. And you want your movie so bad? This is a guy who can give you your movie, Zack Snyder back, and this is how you treat him. This is how you talk to him.
They were calling him a child today, Jimbo. They were on their stream. They were literally like, James Gunn is such a child for the way he's acting, going on Twitter. Why? Because he called out you liars? That's not childish.
What are they
They're
doing?
the ones calling him a pedophile.
What are they doing right now? Exactly.
Calling him a pedophile?
They're literally saying disgusting things, horrible things. And this is the guy you're supposed to be, encouraging, talking about, and hyping up to give you what you want after you've been bitching and moaning for a fucking year after a goddamn turkey picture? Bro, I just don't get it. Dude, they just don't make any sense to me in terms of their actions and what they do. It's like, you want a movie so fucking bad that you nonstop talking about it. You take a turkey picture and turn it into the fucking what does this mean? X-Files shit, and then it's just like, dude, take a step back, take a breather, get off the fucking internet, go outside, watch some other content, just chill the fuck out and realize that what you're doing is just so incredibly stupid that what is the end goal of all this? Yeah, slandering James Gunn and calling him a pedophile is going to lead to us getting what we want and Zack Snyder back and him out. No, that's not going to do anything.
What's funny is also you're not just attacking James Gunn, you're also attacking a random NFL football player.
Yeah, dude.
That whole interaction was super weird.
I read that. That was really funny. That guy was clowning on him hardcore.
Oh yeah.
It was just clowning on those guys.
All I'm gonna say is again, I said this before, but I'm just, is it a little bit of an echo?
Probably.
Yeah, it's coming in from Jimbo.
Oh, okay.
It is?
Yeah, I think it is.
Bro.
I've heard it before.
Sorry, it's just annoying me.
It's not too hard to dunk.
But what I was gonna say is this level of communication transparency is desperately needed because I genuinely believe these scoopers and these BS mongrels and these toxic weirdos like the Cool Table folks and Skeet Walker and all them trashy ass dudes. They're ruining fandom and they're ruining movie talk.
Yeah.
Skeet Walker.
and look, now you got a guy nipping in the bud from the highest perch of wherever they're claiming to get their grift from, okay? And they're saying, you're full of shit, you're full of shit, you're full of shit, you're full of shit, and telling all these people, and that threatens them because they can't grift if people are saying, no, none of this is true. Then they can't get their grift on.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. When I saw James Gunn saying, I don't know where you're getting this information from or who's feeding it to you, but this is just wrong. No one knows but me and Peter. That just kills that. Bro, that's bad. Because that's Sill's business. Like that's what Sil kind of does.
I don't know why he's mediocre as fuck. What's he got? 5,000 subs? He's a fucking nobody.
I mean, he's still. I mean, he has a decent audience with that. I mean, 5,000 is more than a lot of people on this panel right here. So I mean, that's still something. And he has enough people like Skywalker and all stuff hyping his shit as well. So I mean, he has his little he built a community. I'll give him that.
Yeah, Jimbo, but anybody can build an echo chamber if you tell your audience what they want to hear, just for the sake of what they want to hear.
Yeah, but the point is when that's his business and dealing scoops and saying that he knows these things and has sources, but then when the guy who runs DC comes out and debunks your shit and saying that you know what you're talking about, when that's literally one of the top things you do, that's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad.
But these guys have almost no credibility as it is. It's the only reason we're talking about them now is because they feel the need to constantly attack us over here because we disagree with them.
Well, it's they're also they take anything that somebody says outside of what they believe to be reality.
I'm waiting for them to just call James Gunn a racist because he's attacking or debunking Sil and all that.
Well, they're already trying to call him a pedo. I mean, so the racist thing's right. Yeah, coming.
I'm waiting for that because that's how fucking stupid they are. They got nothing. They'll probably and there's be no basis for it. It just would further show how degenerate they are if they do that. I'm just waiting for that. That's because they did it for us over the goddamn Twitter Spaces, fucking dumbasses.
Well, William here's got a great point. It says, happy to have someone finally controlling the narrative instead of leaving it up to trades and random YouTubers. Waited 5 years for that. Yeah, that's
exactly.
It's
and again, that's what I've been saying. Why I'm so happy about this, because this is something that's very unique because Matt, we've talked about this before, but ever since the pandemic, things have kind of changed when it comes to movie talk and the way we engage with entertainment.
Yeah,
you need somebody out there who is willing to communicate directly with the consumers and the fans, and you need someone who can easily debunk the scooper madness BS that proliferates and sets expectations way too high and causes toxicity and disappointment in communities, right? And again, it's a unique situation for DC because there's no one else like James Gunn who will communicate directly like this. Not even Kevin Feige does this. He has social media, but he doesn't really use it. So this is a very unique situation that people should take for granted.
It's absolutely
well, one of the things that I see with this is I think we might have mentioned this last night, Chris, when we were talking is, there's a narrative that gets controlled when the inmates run the asylum, so to speak. And they run with it I've had during the heyday of, I guess you could say, well, the birth of the fandom menace in early 2018. I was, right before Solo came out, a buddy of mine called me, not an internet person. And he's just hey, what's this I'm hearing about how Solo was terrible?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you did mention that last night.
I've mentioned it multiple times. And I'm just well, where the fuck are you hearing this?
Where are you hearing this shit?
I'm dude, no one has seen it yet. They don't know. And he's oh, okay. But he's I'm hearing this, by people he knows hears about it. It's when I walked out of Black Panther Wakanda Forever and there was a guy waiting there during the end credits, and I was hey man, there's just the one end credit scene. There's nothing else after that. He's oh, well, Dr. Doom was supposed to be in that, but they cut it. I'm no, okay. I'm oh, I heard that too, but I didn't correct them or nothing. But I'm this shit spreads. This stuff spreads because people out there, they want to believe it. They want to believe in all this stuff. And, you look at the other guys in that other live stream right now, and they're complaining about a professional football player turned physical therapist who makes $100,000 a year, who's dunking on their ass because they are upset at a guy giving them shit and they don't know how to handle it. This is literally it's children. It's watching children on on the playground attempting to dunk on someone from another school. That they all want to start calling him the F slur constantly.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They do.
And they hate RJ. I was reading through their chat. I was looking at their chat, and they are oh, RJ just has to pay for blah 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 blah.
Oh
blah,
no,
blah.
they somebody wrote in the chat, including Mr. Was actually, I don't remember who it was. I had to go back and look, but someone said that James Gunn is grooming me to touch me inappropriately or something.
And he also said pedo party in referring to James Gunn. So
yeah, someone also said that I'm a minor, so it makes sense why Gunn would.
I didn't even know what was going on. Like I said, I didn't know what was going on. I just heard them bashing you guys, and I went in
RJ's a minor.
And I was like, RJ's got
yeah,
more
okay.
integrity than any of you motherfuckers that have ever been on this panel. And they came at me, dude. Like,
He
I
did.
didn't even
He
know it was
actually,
about
yeah,
this
he
bench.
took he sent me a picture of that too.
I was
Hey,
like, these
and
people are coming at me, bro.
And they act so fucking hard, but yet when we held a Twitter Spaces for them to join, and I hosted it because say you had people blocked, and we hosted it just for them to come in because they bitched for fucking 4 hours plus on multiple different live streams about how they couldn't join, and
They
so we
can't
made
fight without their echo chamber, Jimbo.
yeah.
They
But the
can't.
thing is, we made us Twitter Spaces just for them to respond. Leon the New Geeks saw it, liked it, comment on it, didn't fucking join like a little bitch. But yet he's talking all this shit. It's
I'll
like,
give
I don't
Still
get it,
this
dude.
much
I
credit,
don't get
man.
it.
Like, he went into the lion's den.
That's what I'm saying. I give
You
Still
know what I
press
mean?
for
The rest
that.
of them are cowards, but
the rest
still,
of them are just little bitches.
at least went in there, man. You know, I wouldn't have. Like, I would have never. Dude, come on, man. No fucking way. I'm not going to go in there and try to argue with 200 people. I wouldn't have done
I
it.
would.
I still give.
Yeah,
Still
well, Matt,
respect
you
for that
thrive on that
whole
shit.
thing,
Of course
even
you
though
would.
Well,
I
I
wasn't
look, I give
accomplished.
Still credit for fucking rolling in there for as long as he did. I give him credit for
I
that.
said that multiple
Like
times.
I said, listen, their scoop game lasted a lot longer than it probably should have, but it's over. I mean, it's when you have it again.
It's not over. It's
Well,
not
no.
over.
I'm
bro.
not saying over completely, but I'm saying like they're gonna like shrink. Their audience is already shrinking as it is because they're losing a lot of that hardcore.
Wait, why are they calling it Slategate? Slategate. Why would they call it
Because they think that because James Gunn is messaging people and talking to people that he's not working on anything. They don't know.
Yeah, but why the word slate? Slategate. I don't get it.
Because it's like a slate of movies, that kind of thing. It means like a
Oh.
list of movies or whatever. My whole point though is like, what was I gonna say? Is it completely over for them? No, but their audience is dwindling because they're only pulling in the hardcores that are already there, the established core audience. It's not as big as people think it is. It's losing relevancy.
Yeah, it's dwindling.
And I don't care who's attacking me, Rational. I don't care.
Yeah, no, they attack everybody.
But they attack everybody. The thing is, though, their audience is dwindling because people have a direct pipeline of communication to the head of DC Studios, who can easily, whenever he feels like it, debunk a false story, which he's already been doing. It's done. Like this.
Yeah,
they're if you want to stuff, go over to Marvel. Go over to Marvel because it's the only place they're going to be able to do it still. And even that's starting to shrink up a little bit because they're getting better about predicting those leaks. So,
well, I think that's what he's doing is he's trying to.
So they're overreacting.
He's trying to shut it all down. You know what I mean? Like Gunn is trying to shut it all down, to suck out all the oxygen in the room. Even though, like, look, there are things. I think someone had made a comment about. There was a scoop that broke last year. I think that was saying that Adebayo was Waller's daughter in Peacemaker, and he debunked that, but it turned out to be true. I don't remember that specifically. I saw that referenced, and I just haven't done the research.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, if that's the case, then like, you know, there are some things that, you know, like, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Grace, and I think Grace Randolph said it best, actually, that he's trying to like get scoopers to not cover his stuff. And
you know,
I think that's the right play.
I think that's part of it a little bit, but I think he also wants it to be a place where he and Peter Safran make the announcements themselves, to where they, because
you can't drive a car when you got 10 sets of hands on the steering wheel. One person has to control the narrative.
But also, too, Chris, like, isn't it just nice to go into stuff being surprised?
Yes,
like,
we just said that last night. That's what me
yeah.
and Matt missed the most. Surprises, man. We just want surprises back. Some scoops once in a while is okay, but I had I've had a lot of things spoiled for me, man. I'm sick of spoilers, big time spoilers. I want surprises again, man. I just need that.
Yeah. I actually started turning off a lot of people's retweets today. Who tweet a bunch of that shit. I just started turning it off. I'm like, I just don't want to see it on my timeline. A lot of it's political because I'm just kind of like, fuck it. But it's, you know, I want to, yeah, like last night, Chris and I had a great conversation last night about fucking old 80s, 90s shit, you know, just about like what it was like when we were younger and like VHS and Betamax and crap.
Walking into a theater and only knowing a little bit of what was going to happen, not the whole story, and everybody's got the outline and here's what the script looks like. And man, give me a fucking break. I don't want none of that. I want to be surprised. I think that might be why. Like, is it just me, or does it feel like James Cameron is really holding the plot to Avatar 2 to his chest? Like, nobody knows what's going to happen.
But I'm okay with that.
There's one tweet that came out a day ago Caden had posted it. I have it here. I wasn't gonna bring it up. I prepped it, but I was like, I'll save it for like tomorrow. Actually, hold on. I did actually lose it. Son of a bitch.
Can I just say really quickly before we move on that I am absolutely loving that because James Gunn refuses to like not shut up, as they put it, that they're having like such meltdowns and coping streams that like they're legit like almost on the verge of tears and getting so
well, Grace did the
angry.
same shit. RJ, did you see how mad she got when she was like, he should have gave this to a scooper. He shouldn't be breaking his own stories on his own.
Grace,
like,
man, like
what?
Nation, like those guys are like, I've like before tonight, I've never seen them this angry. This is the angriest they've ever been because they know that because James Gunn is a no-nonsense kind of guy and he has no issue calling out anybody, that the walls are closing in and they can't handle it. I just think it's hilarious. I really do.
That's one of the things. I'm sorry, Maddie.
No, go ahead.
That's one of the things Kevin Smith is famous for saying. As much as he loves making movies now, he hates that now that he knows how the sausage is made. He says it took the magic of movies away from him. You know, being on the other side of the camera kind of took that magic away from him. He had to find a new magic because now he knows how everything's done. I don't want to know how the sausage, a little bit, you know, you can tell me the ingredients of the sausage, but I don't want to see how it's made. You know what I mean? I'm young at heart and I want those surprises.
See, I'm different on that front, right? Like I'm different on that one. Like I know how a movie is made, but for me, that only makes it cooler.
Yeah,
that's the difference. It only makes it cooler for me.
Yeah, like practical effects, and you know, because I'm one of those people.
Some camera movements and shit. Like, dude, I'll tell you this. Like, I remember when they were doing the promo stuff for the Bourne Ultimatum, which, like, look, that movie is largely what the fuck. Like, there's no plot to the Bourne Ultimatum, but it has some cool action. Yeah, that's okay. Fine. That's like that's fine. You want to base level that shit? Okay.
Okay.
You want to base. He's just trying to get home.
He's just trying to get home, man. He's trying to take down Treadstone. You know,
Born Home. There we go. Or Homeward Bound.
Is the Ultimatum the third one?
Ultimatum's the third one. Yeah, there's really not much of a plot there.
He's just trying to take down Treadstone. That's it.
He's not, but not even really that though. Like it wasn't. Go back and watch it again. It in my mind.
No, you're not going to ruin this for me, Matt. I'm not going to go look through it.
Go look through it again. Like, look, the Bourne Identity is the best one. Is the best one. Like, I love the Bourne.
Yeah, the Bourne Identity is my favorite. Yeah.
Supremacy.
Actually, the Bourne Legacy is dope too.
I haven't seen the Bourne Legacy. Although after finishing fucking Andor tonight, though, I should go watch it because Andor was amazing.
Yeah,
I've yet to start Andor.
Dude, watch fucking Andor. People bitch and moan. The middle section's fucking slow. Suck my fucking dick. All right, it's fucking story.
Okay,
it's setting
Andy,
up story. All right,
I like it.
It's fucking slow. Nothing fucking happens. Fucking suck my dick. All right, it's fuck Jesus. You gotta build up, man. They build up the intensity for episodes. Look, it's like watch it in arcs. Episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You watch them in 3-episode arcs. I think RJ said that to Chris.
Yeah,
and that makes sense.
Changed everything.
When you watch 4, 5, and 6 like an arc, dude, that shit fucking fires. Fucking episode 6 is legit. And then after that, go into the prison.
Yeah.
For like those couple arcs that he's there for and everything else, dude, is like fucking wicked cool. This episode was really good too. Really emotional, and everything else. And like,
bro, the speech, bro.
Yeah, the speech was really good too. And then like the kid, that was cool. That shit was fucking awesome.
And once again, I caught myself getting emotional.
I got emotional too,
at the
man.
end because he wasn't gonna leave. You know, I just love what's happening to Cassian, and it makes me want to go back and watch Rogue One now because he was so dehumanized to me for so long, and then that prison break thing happened, and then these last 2 episodes where look, I'm going home, I'm saying goodbye, and I'm saving my friends, and that dude. It's what a great
yeah. Well, what's funny is how he does it is. There's foreshadowing in another episode about that too.
Yeah, Matt, I was gonna ask, can we please laugh at Josh dinner?
Yeah, if you got the tweet, bring it up. We'll do that real quick. I do got to get to bed here pretty soon because tomorrow is the holiday.
Thanksgiving. Yeah, I have to be up early. I'm gonna have my mom cook.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Do I think that Mon Mothma will get caught and break for the Capitol? I think eventually it's gonna happen.
She's gonna have to get caught.
But
She's
man,
the leader
look,
of the
I wanna talk Andor spoilers, okay, but I don't wanna. I later. I don't want to go because people haven't seen it, but there's thoughts.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it for everybody.
I have thoughts about that. Yeah, because I think Andor is fucking brilliant. Even my girlfriend, like, she watched the last half of the season with me, and she loves it. Hasn't watched the first half yet, but she caught the back half. I explained what's going on, and she's like, "Oh my!" Because she even tonight, she's like, "Are you gonna go out driving tonight?" But like the traffic was so bad all over town. I was like, "Nah." She's like, "Okay, cool. We can hang out, watch Andor." Like that was what
nice.
We
yeah, McLeod's right, but I remember Star Wars Theory was apparently complaining, saying that like what was it like? Nuts and bolts and bricks don't exist in Star Wars, something like that. I don't remember what it was. It was crazy. But this is Josh's tweet saying, "Now that Andor is over and Kathleen Kennedy might actually be gone, I'm returning to make Star Wars videos. This next video is going to address how bad things really are and how I see the next few years going."
Oh, shut the fuck up, dude.
Jesus Christ.
He never stopped. He never stopped making Star Wars
Look
shit.
at Sticky Gism's comment, though. He got like 17 likes. Andor is over, the magnificent will continue. Hopefully we get that ruined spinoff. Best written Star Wars ever. The Last of Us is most emotionally charged what the franchise has ever seen. Not to mention what might be one of the greatest twists ever. Star Wars never been a better place. And then this guy right here, Kyle Katara, saying, "Well, my days of not taking you seriously are certainly coming to a middle."
Yeah, that's a great tweet.
I saw that. I saw that guy. Yeah.
This guy, it's Breezy. You're saying your Andor hate propaganda is so cringe at this point. Imagine depriving yourself from enjoying this action show just to save face. It's been some of the best writing Star Wars ever seen. He says, "I actually hate the show." Is it so hard to imagine that?
They think it's got to be loaded down with X-wings, TIE fighters, and lightsabers for it to be Star Wars.
Oh, and did they not see the X-wings that were in fucking Andor?
I saw the X-wings. I saw Saw Gerrera getting ready to go to war. I saw that shit.
Yeah, like their shit, like they're like.
I just don't understand why Josh is going down this path.
Because Star Wars theory, dude, Star Wars theory is about as deep as a puddle of water. All right. Like the guy's got a soft voice and a smooth face, but he's also got soft hands, if you know what I mean. Like he's never like this guy got lucky with making theory videos. When you make theory videos, you don't actually engage with a lot of what's like you create your own fiction more often than not. When you go into theory, you are speculating, and it's and he'll talk about like, what if this happened, or if this happened, it's a lot of the what if stuff.
Yeah, and that's not even theory. That's what if.
Well, what if can be a theory, right? What if this happened?
I guess you can, what if this happened? My theory is this would happen.
But that's what he's done. That's what he did like the fan film stuff. He was trying to recreate a narrative in his own mind. He's really not like the thing is though, what you have to understand about Den of Nerds is flat out someone who just follows whatever trend is there. Like I've talked to Josh multiple times. I've talked about this multiple times. The first time we talked, I was like, well, you should know there's a little controversy surrounding me, and he goes he's like, I understand that. I voted for Trump.
Wait, did he really say that people that are fans of Andor are a cult? Did he really say that shit?
Did he say that?
Josh is full-blown chud, especially calling fans of Andor a cult. Wow. And by the way, when it comes to Star Wars theory, I never had anything personal against the dude. And, good job on the, beating cancer. But Eckhart Slatter is doing it better. And
Eckhart Slatter puts on some good shit.
Yeah,
I watched him.
Him
and I will say, look, as much as I do not really care for Star Wars Explained, I will usually watch their breakdown of an episode of a new show. Those are usually the only videos I watch. Their reviews of those episodes. But anytime, anytime he's on there with his wife, she is no personality. Like she's got no personality.
Just a wet blanket.
Molly just she sucks the enthusiasm out of the room. Every time she's there, she just looks confused, in my opinion. And I'm just like, oh, I can't do it. But if Alex is doing it like a review or something, I find those to be okay. But no, Star Wars theory is absolutely touched in the head. Mo here, check your DMs. I didn't. I don't see it. I don't know what you sent me, man. So
You're the
sorry.
only other person I've ever heard use that.
What?
Touched in the head. My girlfriend uses that. Tina.
It's a nice way.
You and her are the only two people I have ever heard use it that way.
I can't say the hard R, can I? So
no, you can't. But yeah, but it will be like, I'm touched. I'm touched.
You know,
That's
so
hilarious.
you got to be nice about it, right? You got to coddle them a little bit. You can't just come out and call them, a bunch of, I don't know, smooth
That's
brains.
crazy. The minute you said that, I was like, wow, only Tina's. I've only ever heard my girlfriend say that. That's it.
Wait. Star Wars Theory is a shill for Disney. No, he is not. No, he is
Speaking of
not.
Disney, is there any? I mean, I saw a stupid rumor today. I don't know if it's true or not, man. Are they really? Is Bob Iger came back just so he could sell Disney? to Apple?
I saw that. Yeah, that was a rap speculation today. Did you see that, RJ? That the Wrap came out with an article saying that they believe that Bob Iger might try to sell Apple or sell Disney to Apple. I don't think it would happen.
No,
I don't think it would
why
happen.
would no? The mouse is always going to be in charge of the mouse. That's just my opinion, man. No one's ever going to be over the mouse. They own too much now. They're not hurting for money.
Why would Apple want theme parks?
Yeah,
Like that's what I don't get. Like it doesn't serve like a tech company. Like what the fuck would they do with theme parks? I mean, the only thing I could see them doing would be like embracing VR and turning Disneyland into like some kind of like Westworld type environment, which I think is eventually going to happen. I think eventually Disney will create something like Westworld where you'll be able to like finally, furries will finally be able to have sex with like Daisy Duck. You know what I mean? Like fucking.
I'm
like,
in, bro.
There will be stories written of Minnie, the cum spattered bride. Like
Babs, come on, man, Babs, I'm in, bro.
Babs?
Hell yeah!
Isn't Babs?
That's Looney Tunes. That's
Looney Tunes. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, sure. But are we talking like Space Jam 96 though? Not Space Jam 2022.
We're talking Space Jam 96.
Space Jam 96. You gotta go back to the 96 model. Yeah, that's where that's where it's at, right? 14-year-old me was like, damn.
So I know the stream's winding to an end, but I figured I'd ask everyone real quick. What are you doing for Thanksgiving tomorrow, Matt?
I am going to my dad's house, and then I might end up doing delivery driving in the evening if it's open, just because I got it.
More importantly, what are you making for Thanksgiving?
I am making nothing. I'm going to my family's house, and my stepmom is making stuff.
What is the family making?
What the fuck do you think, dude? It's
the
turkey.
same shit on everybody's table.
You never know. Sometimes families make them like a special dish.
My family,
my family's Italian, so we have like a pasta dish as a warm up, but it's still turkey, cranberry, stuffing.
Yeah, we're making turkey. We're making mashed potatoes. We're making corn, rice, and what else was there? We're gonna have some cake.
I'm gonna eat a shitload of olives. I'll tell you that. My stepmom always puts out a bowl of olives for me, and I love olives.
You gonna watch any movies tomorrow to get in the holiday spirit?
No.
What about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
God, no. Jesus
no.
Christ, no. I don't have cable television. I don't watch any of that shit.
No, it's on Peacock. You can watch it for free on Peacock.
Oh wow, Peacock. I gotta install it.
This year, Matt, real quick, hold on.
What?
This year they have a Bluey balloon and float.
Oh my god!
I never watched.
Hold on, RJ's got a point. Dude, Bluey is a good fucking show, man.
Yeah,
I like Bluey.
Bluey's getting a big promotion at the event tomorrow.
I like Bluey. I imagine that Bluey's parents have a very healthy sex life. I mean, it's just like because this.
What?
Have you ever watched the show? Their relationship is really rock solid, as far as parents go. And like, you're just going like, man, yeah, like they probably are like really good on the intimacy front. Like, like the kids go to bed because we never see what happens to the parents when the kids go to bed. Usually they cut to something with the kids, but I just imagine it's just like clapping cheeks downstairs. You know what I mean? Just like howl at the moon, Chili.
Rational. When I lived in New York, I lived in Clifton, New Jersey, but I commuted to New York every day. I went to 2 of the Macy's parades, and they are pretty cool to go to. And to answer your question, RJ, I'm gonna go to my family's. I'm gonna, this is probably my dad's last holidays, so I'm gonna go spend time with him, and I'm gonna watch. I watch every Thanksgiving. It is it's a chick movie, but every Thanksgiving is tradition. First football, and then at night when I get home on my own, I watch Love Actually every year on Thanksgiving.
I knew it was going to be Love Actually, dude.
How did you know that?
I don't know why. In my mind, I was all like, it's going to say Love Actually.
It's a great movie, Maddie.
I've never fucking seen it. I've never seen it, but I saw articles about it today.
Yeah.
I saw articles about it today. So I just had a feeling it was Love Actually.
All-star cast, and I love man, Snape. I always forget his name.
Alan Rickman.
I love Alan Rickman in it. It's got Laura Linney in it. It's got an all-star cast. That's where Andrew Lincoln came from. That's where Rick from Walking Dead came from. That movie, like, it's a great movie, dude.
Keira Knightley's in the movie too.
Yeah.
I think like so like I was thinking about it, and there's like a lot going on. Like, I don't think I'm going to stream tomorrow night because I just want to take a bit of a break. But if I'm out late, I might go see a showing of Knives Out, which I want to see that.
Oh, the Onion movie does.
The Glass Onions now in theaters. Man. I do want to see it in theaters to support it. There's what else is out? Like, I want to watch Slumberland. I want to see that one still. There's like
Wednesday just came out too.
Wednesday. Also, the Guardians holiday special drops tomorrow.
Yeah, that one I'm excited for.
I will just say this, folks. The Guardians holiday special is going to be freaking amazing.
Just to bring out my perv side a little tiny bit. Okay. Wednesday, has Catherine Zeta looked better?
Catherine Zeta-Jones looks amazing.
Not since Entrapment.
Not since Entrapment.
You know what I'm talking about, too, right? You know what I'm talking
about. Red laser, baby. I'm telling you, man. Like, she has not looked this good since she did that movie with Sean Connery, Entrapment. Like, she looks incredible.
Guess what?
Yeah.
She's also going to be in the new National Treasure show next month.
Yeah, I'm in. So we got Guardians. We got Knives Out.
There's a new episode of the Santa Clauses as well. So that one,
Slumberland does look good. I watched it. It looks funny.
It looks all right. Yeah. Like I was going through like Amazon movies today, and there's a lot that I just want to like watch and review. There's one that I gotta get it. It's one I've waited literally 15 years to see. It's called 52577. It is from the director of Space Invaders. If you remember that one from back in the late 80s.
That's deep cuts.
That's old, right? He also did Angus.
I really enjoyed Angus.
Man. I love Angus.
That was such a touching movie. It was so different for its time. Yeah,
and it still has never been released on DVD.
That's crazy. Angus
it is
so good. And he died.
George C. Scott.
Yeah, George C. Scott was amazing in that movie. Man, I loved Angus, man.
James Vanderbeek, Ariana Richards. Yeah.
Angus Bethune. I can't believe I remember his last name, but it was a great movie.
Dude, go on to Twitter or go on to YouTube and type in Angus soundtrack, and you can find the whole soundtrack. That's actually one of the reasons why the movie, as far as I understand it, isn't on Blu-ray.
Helped put Mazzy Star on the map.
Is which one?
Mazzy Star. Fade Into You helped put her on the map, man.
Did it?
Oh, yeah. It was
I mean, I don't remember any of that stuff. I remember it being from back in the day. But it's like that guy made a movie called 52577. It's kind of a biopic about him getting into filmmaking back in the 70s. And, Star Wars, that was the day Star Wars came out, May 25th, 1977. And so this is he's been waiting. He shot this movie in 2006, 2007, somewhere in there. And it just went into like distribution hell. And he finally, after 15 years, got it available to watch. Like it's finally out.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
It's on streaming. I found it on Amazon. It's like $20 to rent or whatever. I want to get the physical copy of it. So
I can't believe you brought up Angus. Now I want to watch it. I don't know how. How do I watch Angus? I can't believe
it's not. Well, here's the thing with that.
It's so good, and it's been so long since I've seen it.
I actually have a 1080p copy of Angus that was on Stars. They up-resed it to 1080p, and they put it on Stars, and and I saw it online one night at a random place, so I downloaded it. And I have no problem talking about that. Warner's can suck my dick because I'm like, I will buy this. You have given me no other option to get my hands on this movie. Because, when they put that on DVD, they did, but it was under a very weird thing. Amazon had a print on demand for movies. You would go to Amazon, you'd select the movie. They would burn a copy of it literally to a DVD-R. And then print out the label, put it in the case, and ship it off to you. And it wasn't like it was like no special features, nothing. And the movie just never came out. And so like when I was able to get my hands on it and that front, I took it because I loved it. I saw this movie a bunch of times as a kid.
Mid-90s, like right.
It was 94.
Yeah, man. Like, dude,
94.
I really now I really want to watch that movie.
I have a confession to make too.
You've never seen it? Well, you're young.
I've never seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
What? That's the other Thanksgiving movie that I watch.
I
every
know.
year.
I've never seen it.
Well,
John Candy?
I've
What?
never seen it. I've never seen it.
I'm younger than you, RJ, and I have seen it.
Well, you know what?
Spoilers.
Matt hasn't seen any of the Rocky movies. It's still worse.
okay, for one, we're not talking about me. We're not talking about me.
Yeah, why are you gonna
all
throw
right?
him under the bus over?
I love
shit
the
that you're-
deflect, but still.
We're not talking about the fact that I haven't seen those movies.
Not to see Rocky versus Planes.
No. Listen, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a holiday classic.
Yeah, it's a
All right,
quintessential.
it's a quintessential '80s classic. You know, and
I
so
still laugh, Matt, when they. I still laugh when they go through they wreck, and he has to pull his thumbs out of the dashboard. I still laugh when they wreck between the two diesels. I still laugh every time.
The reason is because every year I just watch the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. I don't want to.
All right, no,
It's
yeah,
like 20
Charlie
minutes
Brown's
long.
Yeah, like it's the Charlie Brown thing is good. All right, obviously, you know, but then again, it's like still Charlie Brown, the Great Pumpkin is still better. You know, it's a Halloween one.
Well, the Christmas one's still the best.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, Charlie Brown is just Charlie Brown.
I like the Halloween the
I
best.
love
That's
all
my
the Charlie
shit.
Brown stuff.
Man, Blue Skies animated movie was really good from 2015.
I know.
No, yeah, I watched that one. That was
really
good.
liked that
Yeah,
one.
I love
That was
Snoopy
solid.
in it. I love Snoopy.
Yeah, I was really pissed off that they lost the rights. Now Apple has got the rights to it, and they just put out something on Apple TV Plus. I think it was like Snoopy. Looks like shit.
So what? You're like scrolling through Amazon because you just got it, or you just there's a bunch of shit on there you haven't been able to see? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody had talked about Samaritan, and even though it was a little, it was basic, but it was good and had a great twist ending. And Stallone did good in it. Like Samaritan was really good.
The only person I've seen talking about Samaritan actually is Benson, who told me it was good. But I did see it up there. I mean, I was just looking through Amazon to see what movies they had because they've got, now they've got MGM, and there's but they've also got all the Lord of the Rings on there because of the Rings of Power. Someone actually tried to insult me today after I left a comment on the Rock. He's like, just go back to watching your fucking stupid Rings of Power show.
Oh, I saw that.
And I'm just like, I fucking love Rings of Power. Like, the fuck you talking about?
I haven't watched it yet, but
dude, Mark Bernardin, Kevin Smith's homie from Fat Man and Batman.
Yeah, he's also
or
a
Fat
comic
Man
book
Beyond.
writer. Yeah,
he watched it. He talked about it the other day, and he goes because Kevin's like, I haven't seen it yet, and he goes like, look, man, he's like, I loved it. He's like, but you have to, once you understand the rules of the world and understand what they're doing, it's fucking great. But you gotta just
that
kind of
sounds exactly like something Mark Bernardin would say.
Yeah,
too. You know what I mean? That's how he talks, bro. That's a smooth dude, man. I've always liked him, man. Did you ever watch the Fat Man on Batman stuff with him and Mark Bernardin back when?
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah, when they were talking about there was one where they were doing their top 10 favorite movies of that year, and it might have been 2015 or something. And the Charlie Brown movie came up, and they started talking about cotton gins and shit like that. And I was rolling. I could not hold. I had to hold my stomach. Mark Bernardin had me laughing. I was like, I had no idea that dude was that funny.
Yeah, he's got some good moments in him and whatnot. I mean, I just find it funny that they all got mad at Kevin Smith because he cried while watching Black Panther.
Kevin Smith always snaps a picture. If he's not crying in a review, okay, even his Last Jedi review, I appreciate it because he was talking about Luke and R2 getting back together, and this is where it all started. And he started crying, and Kevin Smith will snap pictures of himself crying on purpose, not to troll the internet. His biggest catchphrase is, "I'll pay anyone to make me feel something."
Yeah, and I think that does more to speak to the trueness of film.
I mean, you should see his review of In and Out. Is that what it's Inside Out?
Just balling up a storm.
He balls, bro. He balls.
I mean, I do think weed has definitely impacted that a little bit, but it's at the same time, way back in 2004, had a terrible family tragedy happen. Not necessarily. It's it was just really bad. I don't want to go into it, but it was really bad.
Yeah, I get it.
But it fucking impacted me. A few months later, what was it? All of a sudden, any emotional beat in a movie, I started welling up. I remember I was watching Chronicles of Narnia, literally a year and a half after this shit went down. It gets to the end of Chronicles of Narnia, and I'm just in the theater, fucking fighting back tears.
Yeah,
I'm like, why?
I have those.
Why the fuck is like even tonight watching Andor, dude? Like as like they're doing the funeral procession, I was all like, I was getting teary eyed. I don't know why. I was just like really into it. I was like really emotional, like watching this. It was so good. But like for me, it's a lot of it's music. The music really impacts me watching this stuff. But I also don't want to run from my emotions on it because like it's designed to make you feel.
Certain things will make me lose my shit. The end of Armageddon. I don't know why. It's such a cheesy Michael Bay movie. But when he throws AJ into that container and sacrifices himself and tells him he's always loved him as a son and all, I shut it the fuck down, Maddie. I lose my shit every time and I don't know why. Every fucking time, bro. I lose my shit. I'll be like, you big bitch. Why the fuck are you crying? But for some reason, and then he has to talk to his daughter. So you get the double whammy. Bruce taking it like a man, sacrificing himself for all mankind. Bro, I'm telling you, I know Armageddon's a cheesy movie, and so is Deep Impact, but I love them both. I love them both, man. They're just.
I like both too. I think they're both really good. I actually saw Deep Impact a lot, because they came out the same summer. So I was working. It was my very first summer working at a movie theater, so I got to see all the movies for free. So I think I saw like Deep Impact like 3 times, and I saw like Armageddon. It got to the point with Armageddon that my friends kept wanting to go, and I was like, all right. I just watched up to the point where it's like I got in like halfway to the movie, like when they flew up to when they get through the training montage and they fly up into space. I'm like, that's usually when I dipped out. I was like, all right, the ending of this is like a little bit whatever, but you know, I'm on it. But anyway, guys, it is we've been on for 2 hours. It is time to there wasn't spoilers. I said a funeral scene. It's not even that thing.
Oh, I don't even know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's talking about Andor. Unless it's maybe it is maybe it's fucking.
He might be talking about me saying, Bruce,
are you upset about the 1998
98, you're right.
summer blockbuster Armageddon? Where like Liv Tyler
Billy
has
Bob
like
Thornton,
a
very young Ben Affleck.
What was the Aerosmith song in that movie? That was
I don't want to miss a thing, bro.
Oh, yeah. And I don't want to miss a thing, even when I close. Right, like it's so funny about that song is like it's playing like when Ben Affleck and like I think it's like playing when like Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler are like getting like a little freaky.
The animal cracker scene, yeah.
And it's just like, dude, like your dad serenades you about ready to get your pussy eaten. Like, what the fuck,
it's
man?
crazy.
Like,
I never.
I thought that was like, all right. Have you ever heard the audio commentary of Ben Affleck shitting on Armageddon?
Why? It's a great movie. I don't know.
You've never seen that? Oh my God. Yeah, Command Unit, definitely 40K reminder, 100%, bro.
I remember when he was very. Oh, I'm sorry. You're reading a super.
No. You gotta.
I remember when he was very young, and I kept telling people, this guy's gonna be big. Okay, I'm telling you, and everyone's like, Ben Affleck, really? Get the fuck out of here! Everybody made fun of me. Okay, and then all of a sudden, Good Will Hunting. And people started taking me serious. And now look at him. Now look at Ben.
See, for me, no, Mo, I can't ignore your super chat. I don't have the message. Sorry. It's not there. It's just not there.
He's like, I'm not ignoring it. I can't find it.
Anyway,
you didn't think Ben was going to be big? What were you
no. Dazed and Confused, dude. Dazed and Confused.
Oh, before that.
When he was O'Brien?
I like to fuck girls someplace uncomfortable. Oh, you mean back of a Volkswagen?
Goddamn mall rats, man. Fucking mall rats.
I knew he was going to be big.
Well, here's the thing. So I want to show you this. This is only 2 minutes, and then we'll do the Armageddon thing, the 40K pill, and then we'll wind it down. This is Ben Affleck mocking the Armageddon during the DVD commentary. Dude, this is fucking funny.
Why it was easier to train oil drillers to become astronauts than it was to train astronauts to become oil drillers, and he told me to shut the fuck up. So that was the end of that talk. He was like, Ben, just shut up, okay? This is a real plan, all right? I was like, you mean it's a real plan at NASA to train oil drillers? He was like, just shut your mouth.
Who's he talking about?
See, he's
talking about Michael Bay.
Oh, really?
Guys, that they did a bad job of building the drill tank. He did see, he's a salt of the earth guy, and the NASA nerdonauts don't understand his salt of the earth ways, his rough and tumble ways.
Yeah, that's right.
Like somehow they can build rocket ships, but they don't understand like what makes a good tranny.
We've had them training for 8 months solid now.
God damn, Ben. And AJ was my favorite part of that movie. That's horrible.
Like 8 whole months, as if that's not enough time to learn how to drill a hole. But in a week, we're gonna learn how to be astronauts. 1 whole week? Now you know how to fly into space? I need my guys. Why do you need them? They're the best. Everyone's the best. Why are they the best? I don't know. They just are.
No, I'm only the best because I work with the best. If you don't trust the men you're working with, you're as good as dead.
Wow, Ben Affleck's a
You
dick.
send these boys into space, fine. I'm sure they'll make good astronauts. But they don't know jack about drilling.
I mean, this is a little bit of a logic stretch, let's face it. They don't know jack about drilling. How hard can it be? Aim the drill at the ground and turn it on. You think it's just drilling a hole? There's a lot you gotta know about. And when you're gonna snap off an edge in a tranny on a corner of a hot pipe, and you're gonna get a gas pocket. Like, yeah, well, what about when the booster rockets don't fire and your EVA suit and your zero gravity, you know? Didn't you see Apollo 13, boy?
Is he not listening to the actual, like...
He's just talking all sorts of shit.
Right, that's crazy. He's talking all that shit, but literally, Bruce Willis is, like, literally explaining in that situation, what the fuck are you talking about? You're NASA. You're telling me that you're NASA. How can you not know how to drill? Like, what? Like, you don't have a backup plan? And Ben Affleck's going, yeah, man, I guess Bruce just thinks... Dude, I might have to go watch all the commentary on that now.
Look, man, I like Armageddon for what it is.
For what it is, exactly.
For what it is, I like Armageddon. But I just love Ben Affleck sounding like a bitch, just kind of going off on it.
Yeah, you could tell. And when he did that commentary, he must have been young, because listen to his voice, man.
Yeah, it was definitely
young. And AJ was my favorite character in that movie, man. Ben Affleck was the heart of that movie. You know, he was bright-eyed and optimistic, and
what about Owen Wilson? What about Steve Buscemi?
No, they were great, but they weren't the heart of the movie. They were they were definitely great supporting. Wow. Yeah, but I loved
Michael
Oscar.
Clark Duncan.
Yeah, Michael Clark, Big Bear. I know them all, bro. I've watched that movie so many times, man. It's one of my guilty pleasures. It's up there with Fast and Furious. Like
I get it, dude. Like, look, I'll say this though, man. Like the movies like Armageddon prepped Michael Bay to do Transformers. Let's be fair. All right.
True. True.
You know, and I still like the first Transformers. Fuck you all for not liking that movie. The first and third are actually good.
Yeah, I didn't hate the second one, but a lot of people did. I get it.
The story wasn't good in the second one, but that was also the writer's strike had a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
so they were racing to get it done.
I remember how excited I was to see a new version of like sleek, mech'd out Transformers that were real sleek and sharp. But then after watching them for so long, I remember thinking, man, I really wish we would have got a Gen 1. And then we got Bumblebee, which is now my favorite Transformers movie ever.
Only because of the opening of that movie, dude. That's it. You can admit it. It's okay. It's not a good movie otherwise. It's all right. Bumblebee sucks.
Bro.
Dude, dude, it is late.
That's another one to
argue. I don't want to argue.
That is another one of those movies I get emotional.
Dirty Rotten Little Liar.
Haley Steinfeld
movie.
Carries that movie. She's wonderful in it. She's phenomenal. She's the heart of that movie.
Yeah, no, she's good in the movie. And like Bumblebee is good in the movie, but like the villain was shit.
Movie.
John Cena was so fucking dumb.
Okay.
Right? The character mode, like, dude.
No, John Cena was funny when he's like, they're called the Decepticons. Does that not raise any red flags?
That was so stupid.
Angela Bassett was great as a villain.
I'm sorry, Matt, but I think
was the military in that movie on par with Sonic the Hedgehog? I mean,
they
like,
were dumb as fuck.
They were dumb as fuck, dude.
I'm sorry.
Like dumb as fuck.
Sorry, Matt, but I just don't think you understood the movie.
I understand the movie. I understand that you're soft for Haley Steinfeld. I get it.
And you don't get hyped up at the end when he turns into the Camaro, gets on the Golden Gate Bridge, and there he is with Gen 1 Optimus right next to him. Gen 1.
No, don't get me wrong, dude. That was cool. All right, like the beginning and the end of that movie were cool, but there's a lot of like the scene in the house.
An 80s movie, man.
It was meant to do a lot of things, RJ. It just didn't accomplish them.
Oh,
it did though.
Right?
It's an 80s movie in its core, from its plot structure to the way it's constructed.
What are you talking about from its fucking plot structure?
It's too late to argue.
What
it's
the
an 80s
fuck?
Movie.
Oh my god.
Movie. It is pure 80s
from its plot structure. What the fuck are you?
The soundtrack, you gotta love the soundtrack, Matt. The soundtrack's really good. You know?
Yeah,
Like,
look, I know. Rational's right here. RJ's thirst for Haley is blinding his true
it's
judgment.
a good movie regardless of that.
RJ's like, I get with you.
Bumblebee is the best Transformers movie ever made.
That's another one I get emotional about when she's talking about, because that's something me and my dad do together.
Let's watch some Warhammer so I can go to bed.
Build cars, you know what I mean?
When
Matt, you didn't get any kind of emotional gratification at all when she's like, I thought if I put the car together, I could have a piece of my dad back.
No, look, that shit. Look, that shit. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like she was good. I just said she was good, but the overall plot of the movie wasn't. The Decepticons were not good villains. The military was dumb as shit. John Cena, I like John Cena quite a bit, but after seeing him in Peacemaker, that performance just feels so fucking subpar.
It does feel, it does. You're right.
All right, because he's the comic relief. He's the comic relief in that movie in Bumblebee.
Yeah, I'll give you that, man. Because Peacemaker, I remember thinking, well,
he's supposed to be the hard ass.
How big can his range go? And then you watch Peacemaker, and you're like, wow, this dude has some range.
I would just like to say, bad take.
No. You constantly defending that shit of a movie. That's your bad
That's
take.
my favorite Transformers.
It's still the best written Christina Hodson movie.
But I love the first one too. The first one's got some, I don't know. It's a toss up between Bumblebee and the first one. You know,
the world agrees.
Dude, the first one is such a better movie than Bumblebee.
The world
such a better movie than Bumblebee.
Back when Shia
No, the world,
had half a
world.
brain.
Yes, the world absolutely does agree with me. Did you see the box office take home for Bumblebee versus the box office take home for?
It's because it opened against like 8 other movies.
Oh, right. So there was a lot of other things that opened up in December of 2019 or 2018.
It was a bad release date.
I understand, but even then, Transformers
also
came out
after the last night.
Wait, did Bumblebee flop?
It didn't flop. It made enough to where they could make it more. But
yeah, but they're doing Beast Wars next, like whatever.
Which throws me off because they're calling it Beast Wars, and when I think of Beast Wars, I think of like Gorilla Optimus. And
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Be in there, yeah.
No, not. I thought he's going to be a semi truck.
I don't know what's going on.
It's weird because
Fandom NSLs here says that Cena's performance in Blockers clears his performance in Bumblebee. I haven't seen Blockers yet, but it's Cock Blockers. It's like 3 parents with their daughters all want to have sex and they're trying to block it. It's like a reverse American Pie kind of thing.
I have.
But it's basically just like, I think it triggered a whole bunch of dudes like, women don't get horny. The female orgasm is a myth.
I forgot about.
Because a lot of dudes feel actually, that line. If you know
a lot of guys actually believe that shit.
But do you know that? Do you know where the female orgasm is a myth line comes from? Will Ferrell said it.
Was it in the one where he's a news anchor or some shit?
No, that's not Anchorman. He didn't say it in Anchorman. No, he said it in is a 2001 comedy. Will Ferrell plays a park ranger.
Park Ranger Jimbo,
and he's on the hunt for a particular set of stoners.
Oh yeah. You're talking about Jane Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah. The female orgasm is a myth.
Yeah, we are the clitoris. All right. Watch this shit.
Let's all right, Mo here says RJ's hard on for Haley and Matt's hard on for Dwayne. No, my hard on is not the same hard on. I have a different hard on for.
It's a hate boner.
It's not even a hate boner. It's like I just want truth to prevail. And I hate egotistical bravado. Also, we lost Caden and he didn't even say goodbye. So like whatever. But
I do that all the time.
Okay. So apparently for this here, for Kyra's speech here in Warhammer, the context for the scene is Dawn of War 2. Thank you. I don't know what that means, but all right.
You should know the story by now of how many times he does this. What the fuck, dude?
I don't know.
You should know this shit.
But here, Kyra's speech, but it's Google translated like there's no tomorrow. So this could literally be whatever.
Trust me. Really. People. Driving a car in Benning has been a myth for many years. Although little did Kerry know that he was the naval king. When I entered the North Korean Wall, Northern Border Ambassador Korn showed me that the only way to get a good meal was escapism. Why is Satan a minority? Is there a reason to collect our enemy's junk? Yes, silly. You just need to be more discriminating with the help you provide to other people. As far as physics are concerned, it is possible. Doctors have no reason to develop an HIV prevention program. I drink 1 million liters of tiger milk every hour to maintain the energy levels of my body. 4 sharks died and Putin's gone. Baby, come back now. Send some vegetables. Give them some vegetables. Buy some vegetables. Local, gentle, simple, safe and super fun. They screamed in disbelief.
Wow.
Sorry. I apologize to everyone, but Satan is on the internet. Find yourself and set a goal you are worthy living for. Fucking, we have just quit smoking steroids. Just relax.
Yo, you know what that reminds me of?
This is just so fucking.
You know what that
random.
reminds
What
me
was
of?
the point?
Crazy.
It's very
crazy-
random.
What the fuck was that?
That shit reminds me of the crazy leathered out dude in Road Warrior talking about just walk away. Just leave the boy
I'm
to walk
so
away.
confused, but that was, I guess.
Dude, I want to hear the actual speech now because
I don't know. I
dude,
think
that can't
StreamYard
be it.
glitched for me because
That was just so fucking
It's-
random. It's like buy vegetables, be vegetables. Putin's gone. Quit smoking steroids.
Fuck, bro.
What the fuck?
All right,
that
on
to
that
me
note,
would make
I'm
a
gonna
really
get
good
outta
T-shirt.
here and let Maddie close the stream. You guys have a good
I
Thanksgiving.
yeah, I
Have
don't
a
even know how
safe
if I'm going to be able to
Thanksgiving.
do it or not because hold on, let me refresh the page. I'll be right back.
All right. See you, Chris.
I'm gonna dip, guys. Y'all be good and have a good Thanksgiving. Be
All right,
safe.
guys.
Me
Since
too.
welcome to the new HWAD with me and RJ. We're gonna be the new hosts. We've officially booted Matt. Matt's never coming.
There we
hello,
go.
Hello.
No, it didn't boot me. I just had to refresh it because
I
it was
know. I know.
it was going crazy. Command you for 2 more. Thanks, buddy. Wise words from Google Translate. Yes, quit smoking steroids.
Dude, I love that. That was my favorite line of it all. Putin's gone. Quit smoking steroids.
I think that works out in regards to oh fuck, I don't know. I'm getting tired. All right, guys. On that note, it is
tired.
time to go to
Happy
bed.
Thanksgiving, everyone. Have a good
happy
day tomorrow.
Happy Thanksgiving. If something major happens, if a turkey story breaks, I'll go live. Otherwise, I'm taking the night off. Have yourself a great night, everybody. Enjoy something. Go watch something. See you guys all later.